Welcome to the Galen Trombley Show. You can find me on Facebook at Galen Trombley, on Instagram at Galen Trombley, and on YouTube at Galen Trombley. Spelling GaelanTrombley. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Galen Trombley Show.
Hell yeah.
Okay, everybody, episode 122. Actually, I didn't really check any. Just say hi.
Hi.
Okay, it's Anna. No, you're good. We got the what's it called, decimal level. So, Anna had this down for tomorrow. I had it down for today. I just reached out to her. I said, what did I say? What's up?
Yeah, you literally texted me and said, "What's up?"
What did you say?
In all caps, I wrote, "The sky."
I thought you were joking. I was like, oh, she's like on her way. And you're like, home, what are you doing? And I'm like, I just asked.
No, I said, "What's cooking?" And then you thought I was cooking.
Yeah, and you're like, I'll be there right now. So you basically dropped everything, came. Good thing you didn't have something this afternoon.
Yep.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So you're here. This is your 18th appearance on the show. Mm-hmm. Or close to it, maybe 20th. And we're supposed to have, also because we're off, supposed to have margaritas.
Yeah.
And then I showed up. You showed up. I haven't had a margarita in a long time.
I know. We'll have to go get some this week.
I leave this weekend.
Okay, so in 2
Maybe
weeks
this
when
week?
you're back.
Sunday. No, Monday. No. I leave Sunday.
What day is it?
Dude, I got like COVID brain fog. So no. I have Friday.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Maybe
Let's
this
do
Friday.
it. That'll be my first time going out since we went to Aleka's on election day. Yeah.
This wine's pretty good. So our consolation prize is Lab Wine, which is sparkling.
It doesn't say it's sparkling.
It's rosé.
But it totally tastes like it is.
Do you like rosés?
Yes, but it really does depend on. Some are way too sweet for me. Mm-hmm. But I do love rosé. In the summer, it's my summer cocktail.
Well, you said it's too sweet in the summer.
No, like depending on what it is.
Just wine in general.
Yeah, like I really am a red wine person. But I do like it in the summer just because it feels like airy. You know, I'm a seasonal drinker.
In your hot tub. In your hot tub watching 90s music. What music videos did you watch the other day?
We were doing throwback Rihanna, and then we got into throwback Drake for a little bit, and we were vibing.
So, what year was throwback Rihanna, and what year's throwback Drake?
Rihanna was... The songs that I was listening to were probably about 8 or 9 years old.
So, like 2010 to 12?
Yeah. Yeah. And then Drake was like my senior year my sophomore year to my senior year. I remember the songs being on my warm-up CD when I used to warm up.
Sophomore year to senior. So, for like soccer?
Yeah.
And basketball? Did you play basketball?
Well, I didn't play basketball. I ran track. So I used to literally wear my Beat headphones and play my own playlist.
Oh, for track?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not like, I guess you're in the stadium, though, soccer stadium. Sometimes.
Yeah. The soccer stadium, though, always had to be like the clean edited version because it was playing over the loudspeaker.
Oh, and you wanted that parental advisory.
Except I will never forget the time that Grace Chisholm, my BFF, she volunteered to make the list for, I think it was our freshman year.
The mixtape?
Yeah, the mixtape, and it was all supposed to be clean because you can get in a lot of trouble if you do that. And all of a sudden, it was the one time we got to play on the turf because JV's always on the field. Mm-hmm. And it started coming over the loudspeaker. And of course, it was accidentally way too loud. And all of a sudden, the first words to come out were like 9 F words. And everybody was running up the grandstands to shut it off. And Grace was standing in the middle of the field with her hand over her mouth. And I remember being like, this is totally a Grace move.
Did she know she had to do that or no?
She didn't mean to do it. It was supposed to be clean.
So she just took like the wrong, she would like...
It must have been the wrong mixtape mixed in with, it didn't edit the stuff out, but it was so funny.
So our warm-up CD back in the day, so when we played like sports, I remember soccer, we had a lot of like AC/DC, we had a lot of like, just kind of like random pump-up music, but it was really before you would put rap on, like...
Yeah.
Like, we never had rap as, like, a warm-up for soccer.
Yeah. We honestly had more Skrillex. Yeah. He was always on it. Is that a guy? I don't even know.
Yeah. He's
so even if I hear that now, like on the radio or something, I think of soccer immediately because I was never into it, but it did pump me up.
So he's a guy that like sits there at like a DJ table. And,
yes.
Has like long hair. And, like, people are just on like acid and just going crazy. Yeah. So that was after. So like all the kids when I was coaching would have that stuff. So the kids like basically probably within the 5 years that I had graduated on started to go into like Drake. I'm like, why are we? It's like a basketball warm up. Yeah. So when we were kids, like we had like Lil Wayne and you had like Ludacris and you had these guys back. It was like your warm up CD music, and like Move Out the Way was like high school, one of my high school ones, and like you had a lot of Lil Wayne. Like I loved Lil Wayne back then. Yeah. But then you ended up for soccer. We had like AC/DC was a big one. We had a couple other ones in that genre, and then like our playlist on the bus. Yeah, we had like Sublime, we had Fish, it was just like a bunch of
everything. Yeah,
bunch of Dispatch, a bunch of jam OAR. Like we had a bunch of
Dispatch. You're a Dispatch.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, you. Wait. I have a story about Dispatch.
The band?
Yeah, the singer of Dispatch. So my Uncle Pat. You met my Aunt Allison and my Uncle Pat. They live behind my house.
Keep going, because it's going to blow my mind if we've never talked
He's been to
this.
Plattsburgh. He's related to my uncle's brother-in-law.
Is it Brad?
It might be, but my sister got like to meet him and have a bonfire with him when he came to Plattsburgh once. He's cousins with my Uncle Pat's brother-in-law.
Who's your Uncle Pat's brother-in-law?
Paul Hovis. Shout out to Paul Hovis.
It's Brad.
It must be, yeah.
The drummer.
Yeah, my sister says he's awesome.
Do you know what he looks like if I showed you a photo of him?
No.
So, do you know it was Dispatch?
Yeah, I know it was Dispatch.
The reason I know that's the case is...
She got a whole bunch of stuff signed at the bonfire, a CD from him.
Your sister did.
Yeah.
So, fun fact. So, Dispatch is one of my all-time favorite bands. If you don't know them, they're old jam band, started out of Middlebury back in like mid-90s. And Brad, Chad, and Pete. So, Brad is the drummer and phenomenal...
I'll ask right now.
Drummer. The reason I'm bringing it up, you've never told me this before.
I didn't know you were a Dispatch fan.
Oh my!
So are you a Dave Matthews fan too? I love Dave Matthews.
I was listening to Dave Matthews all morning.
Yeah, I love that. It's kind of relaxing, honestly.
Yesterday and this morning, I was in the office by 5:30, just going to town. I was doing work, and I was listening to Dave. I had his one of the Gorge albums on, and then I had the Piedmont Park album on. So it was just live, and it was just I let it go for like 4 hours.
Yeah, I like his live stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it up. It was
I just texted my sister.
Right there. Look, it just popped up. This guy right here. Well, okay, just bear with me. So Dispatch top 3 favorite bands is Dispatch. Dave's in there.
No way.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to tell him. Okay. I'll have to let him know.
Wait. Because I'm terrible at this. All photos. That's what I wanted to hit. Here we go. There he is.
No freaking way.
That's him right there. It's me and my sister.
That's so funny.
And Brad, this was at Killington. Free concert.
Oh my God. It must be him.
Yes. The only reason
Alexa said yes, it was Brad.
The only reason I know it is because he has... It's not the first time someone's told me that someone around here is related to him.
Yeah, so he's actually not from here. So he married my Uncle Pat's sister. She's from here, obviously. He's from, California.
Uncle Pat's sister?
Mm-hmm. Married Paul, and Paul's the one related to him.
He married Uncle Pat's...
Sister.
Paul is... How's he your uncle?
He's not my uncle. I call him Uncle Paul just because I know...
Okay.
He, runs around all the time with us. But
so that's his brother-in-law?
His brother-in-law, yeah. But do you want to hear another cool story?
I would love to. This is blowing my mind because...
So, Jason Mraz? That's so cool. Yeah, so he has a Plattsburgh tie right there. Paul lives here.
Okay.
And Jason Mraz, right?
Yep.
So, my Uncle Pat's nephew. So, Pat's family is really musical. Like, Debbie used to do, Broadway and everything.
And this guy lives local?
Who?
Paul.
Yeah, he lives local. My aunt... I call her my Aunt Debbie. She's not technically my aunt. She's Pat's sister. But Aunt Debbie, she lives in Plattsburgh. Pat lives in Plattsburgh, obviously. So my Uncle Pat's family is very, very musical, and they're very talented. My Uncle Pat can play a million instruments, it seems like, because anything he picks up, he can just do it. And so Jason Mraz is a singer, obviously, and he was very well known. But Pat's nephew, Luke, he's from Colorado, I think. I might be wrong on that one, but he has a band called Luke and the Lovingtons, and he wrote a song, and Luke ended up giving Jason the like performing rights, and they went on tour together, and then they lived together for a long time, and they went to like South Africa and did, because Luke does a lot of charitable South Africa. I think he goes to South Africa often, actually. I know he was in, I think, Puerto Rico last summer, because my cousin Ethan almost flew down to meet him there to do charity work. Like, I don't know if it was like building houses or whatever, but they collaborated so frequently that they're like good friends now.
So, okay, this is blowing my mind. So
look up Luke and the Lovingtons.
Wait, so what's it? Wait, I forgot. Where's Jason Mraz and all that?
I think he bought the song that Luke and the Lovington wrote, and then they did a music video. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then he sang it, and then they went on tour together to perform, and then they ended up becoming roommates because they became such good friends, and they're still to this day really good friends.
So this was last year, no, 2 years ago, COVID. 2 years ago, 2019. This was in Portland, Oregon.
The song is Freedom.
So Brad's on the left.
Oh, yeah.
So I've seen him 5 times maybe.
So you're a legit fan.
Oh, yeah. First time I saw him was 2011 out in the Garden, TD Garden. And they were playing but they had the whole band then. So they had Pete playing. So Pete is not with the band. Like he's not touring with the band right now. So, yeah. So when we went to that concert, that guy, Paul, got us 4 passes to go back and meet them. Or 5. Whatever it was like 4 or 5 passes.
My Paul?
Your Paul got us passes to go back.
That makes so much sense because he got passes for my uncle, my aunt so many times.
So one of the people, we had 9 people. One of the people in our group caught wind, whatever, got passes. You're
that's
the third
so
person
funny.
that's told me that he's got a connection here. I was not one of the 5 people. I think we had 4 tickets and one kind of snuck in.
Yeah.
I wasn't one of the 5 because we were sitting there like trying to go in. The guy that was like, oh, I got 4 passes, only 4 people. So we ended up just going and like to like kind of like a bar. It was Portland. It was absolutely gorgeous out in kind of like
that is so
waterfront.
Cool.
So some of them went and actually met them, like got to talk and chit chat with them. And I didn't. So it was like, I don't really give a crap if I meet the guys. It's just like I like the music. But it's just funny that there's a connection.
I'll have to reach out to Paul.
Next time this guy is in town,
I'll let you know.
Let me know, and I'm just gonna. I honestly will be probably crazy fan stalker dude.
But that's okay. He had a bonfire right on Sherman Street in my Aunt Allison and my Uncle Pat's driveway.
How long ago was this?
My sister was like a late teenager.
I'm so sad right now.
Yeah.
Not sad, actually happy.
Isn't it? He must have been like in Burlington or something because I'm trying to think of why he was here. I don't know. But then this is the song that
blows my mind. Wow.
This is Jason Mraz singing Luke's song. I have it on my phone.
So your uncle wrote that?
My uncle's nephew, Luke, and the Lovingtons. But that's Jason.
So your cousin?
He's not my cousin.
Other side of the family.
Yeah, he's not technically my cousin, though.
Okay, so he's like your uncle. You just call... Okay.
So it's weird because I'm really close with my aunt and my uncle, but I call my uncle, who is married to my aunt, who's really like my aunt. Oh. So my Uncle Pat married into our family, but his family is around so much because I live in their backyard. I grew up calling Debbie Aunt Debbie, and Paul was always Uncle Paul.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I always have to explain when I say like Aunt Debbie, I'm always like, sorry, she's not my aunt, but she's Aunt Debbie.
Yeah. So okay, so that makes sense. So that's crazy. Wow, I didn't even know you knew who Dispatch was. Mm-hmm. Like I have like every one of their albums, every one of the things on my phone.
That's so funny.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea you liked them. That's why I would have told you this story a long time ago.
I thought you were giving me crap because I've mentioned it before to people. And they'd be like, "Oh, do you like Dispatch?" I'm like, "Yes." I like
That's how I said it too.
Yeah, well, I thought you were being sarcastic, so I was like, "Wait, do you know I like Dispatch, right?" And,
yeah. No, I know a few people that love Dispatch.
Love them,
like my old coworker from Schluter Systems, Lainey. I've talked about her before.
Okay.
She got to go and meet him. She went with my sister because she was a Dispatch fan. I think she still is a Dispatch fan.
Oh, you know what he did? Did he come over because they went to Shelburne? So I saw him at the Shelburne Farms. That concert was fun too because we were right on the stage on the stage, but I used the speaker.
So it must have been the same time.
So I'll bring that one up because that was even closer. Because the last few concerts, first one I ever saw was TD Garden, 2011. Like nosebleeds. My sister, my cousin. It was fun. We had a blast.
Yeah.
And then I've seen them multiple times since then, probably 4 times since then. So one of the times I saw them was over at Shelburne, and that's why let me see if I can bring it up here. Shout out to iPhone because you can there we are. Man, they come right up. I love it. So
It's so funny because I'm like not into Dispatch that much, but I was never really like, I guess like introduced to Dispatch on that level. You know what I mean? My generation really didn't do anything with it.
So this is like the first. So Chad's behind us. So Brad's on the drums, but like we're in the front row because it was general admission. So like, and the people I'm with are all like fans. So she's like sitting
That's
on the
so
stage.
cool.
Like that was at the end of the show. But
How fun though.
oh, it was a blast. And then what happened was I was using the speakers like to hold my drinks.
Oh
Because
my
I had like a
God.
couple things of beer, so just like I was sitting on the speaker and I kept getting yelled at because that's when we were on this like basically on the stage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you are, Chad and Brad.
That's actually a really cool picture.
I know.
You should like
Artsy.
Lightroom that shit.
Art. I know. This is just
Yeah, really cool.
yeah. So that's it. I'll stop fanboying, but that's
No, I'll tell Paul you're a fan.
wow. That's amazing.
It's starting to get nice out. He always comes over and he has
there.
some brews on the porch. I'll have to tell him next time I see him.
There we go. There's our yep. There's my thing
That's
on the
so
speaker.
funny.
What a world.
That's such a small world.
What a world.
Well, I guess not because it's Dispatch, but it's funny that like
just jamming out, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know how many times I watched Instagram Live over COVID? Like Chad and Brad would just get up and they would just do like some
Yeah.
kind of, like he was in Colorado, Chad I think's in Massachusetts, and they were doing like a split screen.
Yeah.
And, like, every time I watch Chad, he's like out in the water, like out on a dock or something, just
That's
like playing
so
music,
cool.
like out in the middle of Colorado, like some,
yeah, like
some,
it's just
be
whatever.
like going out to like I don't know Schuyler Falls and just playing like
Yeah.
someplace. It was really cool. Maybe not
Wow.
Schuyler Falls. There's water, so maybe out like Champlain, but
Yeah,
it was amazing.
that's so neat.
God, man, I didn't know that. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Dave is up there. What were we talking about originally? Music videos.
How I was listening to Throwback Rihanna and Drake in the hot tub.
When you said Throwback Rihanna, that's what I'm saying. How old was Throwback Rihanna? Because
It was like she had like Disturbia, that kind of era. That's Throwback Rihanna for me because she had like the pixie cut and my cousin and I. Rihanna is so underrated. Side note, I just want to get that out there. She is so underrated. And then it was the music video that I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in like a high school time warp right now. Was the song with Neo, Hate That I Love You. And she has like the bob haircut with the curls at the end. And I'm watching it and I'm like, look at how young Neo is and look at how young Rihanna is.
he's a singer, Neo.
Yeah.
Singer. Okay.
Yes.
So when you said like Throwback Rihanna, because Rihanna came out like after I was out of high school.
Yeah.
So like my timeline from
Wait, you mean to tell me Pond to Replay became a thing after you were out of high school?
Ponja what?
Pond to Replay? That was like her first song that was like a banger. Oh,
Play it.
are you kidding me? I'm so disappointed in
So-
you.
I remember like Rihanna probably started coming out like around 2008, 9, 10.
Come, Mr. DJ?
What year was this? Yes, I remember. I know the song.
I don't know. How do I tell?
What's it called?
Pond to Replay.
I've never heard that term that, but yeah. Yeah, I've heard this song. So what year was that? Can you
Let me find out.
Because so when you say Throwback Rihanna, I instantly go to like maybe college and then out of college.
May 24th, 2005.
Wow, she's that old?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean,
older than
yeah,
that.
she has to be that old because
But, like-
when you think about it, she's not on Beyonce's level, but she has like a makeup line now. She's like
She's
established.
definitely not on
in-
Beyonce's level.
No, Beyonce is like the biggest.
She's like
boss.
the Christina Aguilera to Britney Spears. If you're
Yes,
from that-
that's a great comparison, actually.
So when you're thinking like throwback, which is fine because there's like I don't want to. It'd be like me telling someone that's like late 30s and they'd be like, "Oh, you don't know this band?" I'm like, "No, like at our age gap, like 7-8 years for music scene back then is a lot."
No, it is that
like,
a
now
lot
it's
of
not-
music and
now
a
it's
lot
not
of
good.
music changed back then.
Well, so when you're talking about throwback, so I was doing that banger of a music video. Which you see that?
Yeah, it was so funny.
Well, that one.
It was
so-
actually amazing. I props to Jacob Jabot on that.
It was amazing. Yes, he did fantastic, and we were just having fun. We were like, it was supposed to be a spoof of a music video. Like that's all we wanted. It was lip sync.
Oh, it
so,
was
like,
way better though.
So we're just gonna make this like a parody. Like we're making fun of
Yep.
like music videos. I can't sing. I'm pretending to sing as a lip sync. So I was looking up old videos. I'm like, you know what? I want to make it like Beastie Boys, like Sabotage.
Yeah.
And that's what he kind of did the filter. Like that was my mind. I'm like, I just want this old school. Because it was Metallica cover of Whiskey in the Jar. So like when you're looking at it. Like Metallica probably came up with that like late 90s, I'm guessing, maybe early 2000s.
That's so cool.
Probably late 90s though. And So I was like, I'm going to try to do that. And I was going through old music videos because trying to find some goofy stuff that we could put in, like kind of encapsulate that old time. So some of the music videos I was coming up with were like things from the 90s. So I was like, best 90s music videos. So I put them on. And I'm like, I remember a ton of, not all of them, because there's some of the early 90s, but like, I remember probably out of like the 10 or 12 they showed, I probably knew 10 of them maybe. Yeah. And some of the ones I'm like, oh my God, like that had to make it. And that was went right into, like do you remember TRL?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. So those, I don't know how long that lasted, but like with Carson Daly, or they might have somebody different.
It was Carson Daly, and then didn't Vanessa Lachey take it over?
It could have been.
I'm pretty sure that's how Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey met after the Jessica Simpson-Nick Lachey divorce. Fun fact.
That's...
Because she starred in Nick Lachey's What's Left of Me music video. That's another throwback right there.
See, Nick Lachey was 98 Degrees, right?
Yeah, and then he went off on... He tried to have, like, his own music career, and it didn't really work out.
He
had that one really good song when Jessica left him, and he wrote What's Left of Me about being dumped.
The only music artist from a boy band... I could be wrong on this. Don't jump down my throat. But the only one that's been able to transition out to a solo artist is Justin Timberlake.
And Harry Styles. But he's more present.
See, that's like...
Oh my God, don't even start me on Harry Styles. I love him.
You a fan?
Oh my... Not even music related. I think he's the most gorgeous human ever, and Brady knows I'm obsessed with him.
Okay, so Harry Styles.
Mm-hmm. He filmed... One Direction filmed their music video right here on SUNY Plattsburgh's campus.
I was going to tell you that. Did you know that? And in Lake Placid, I think it was?
Yeah, they split their time.
Have you ever watched it?
Yeah. And you can see certain pieces of it.
Yeah, it's a little...
Like, you can pinpoint when they were here.
The building across from Macomb.
Yep.
That little, like, CV Hall.
Yeah. I don't know the name of the buildings, but...
I think it's that. But it's a little standalone. It's the old building. It's probably been there longer than anything.
Harry Styles, he's my boyfriend.
What's the fascination? Like, is it just looks? Talent?
No, I do think he's... I think English, he's very talented. Yeah, he's British. And, I don't know. I wasn't a One Direction fan, honestly. Like Zayn, I never was a fan of. I was not a One Direction fan at all. Member? Yeah, he was a band member. I don't know. He dated Gigi Hadid, yada, yada, yada.
Like, if you played one of their songs, I might know. But if you ask me right now...
Yeah, I was never the One Direction fan, honestly.
They probably... When did they hit mainstream? Probably like 5-6 years?
Probably 6 or 7 years ago, because I think Zayn has been on his own for at least 4 or 5.
So a couple of them have broken out?
Oh, they've all broken out.
Was there 5?
Like Niall Horan, he's off on his own. Harry Styles is probably the most successful who's off on his own. Harry's now dabbling in like acting. He did the movie Dunkirk.
Don't know it.
It's a war movie.
But so all these band members have
split.
Okay, so they're completely done.
Yeah, One Direction's done. But I was never on the One Direction bandwagon, honestly. But Harry Styles, he did a really I thought it was a good solo album. And that was when I kind of was like, I noticed him at that point. I never noticed him when he was in One Direction, which is sad for some people because I have a lot of friends who love One Direction. But I never really was onto it. Like, I never really caught on to that fan club. And then, I don't know. I just think he's beautiful. And Brady is always just like, of all the people you think Harry...
Is a British accent like a turn on for girls?
A lot of girls, but I don't really care. Yeah. It doesn't really... I don't like look at it like, oh my God, you're melting my soul because you're speaking in a British accent. Yeah, I'm not like that.
Well, that's not what a British person sounds.
No, I know. I was just saying it as like a mock. Like, that's how people are like, oh, I love a British accent. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't really care.
I think if I had to pick like on a female accent, I would probably say something with like South American.
I like Australian accents though.
I think Australian for guys, I could see. I don't know if I could... An Australian accent for a girl to me would be like... I don't know if I'd hear an Australian accent on a girl. And don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, I could see that. Yeah.
But like, because I'm thinking that. I'm thinking like a Russian accent. I'm thinking like a French accent. I'm thinking like an Italian accent, a Spanish accent. Spanish and Portuguese, like, is probably the one that... Maybe Italian? Because Italian's got a very pretty language. French...
honestly... French is a lot, though. French... So I actually went to France with my mom for a few weeks. We've talked about this before. Mm-hmm. And hearing people who speak French try to speak English when they're not like really fluent, it's very hard to understand. They have a very heavy accent. I
think it's because we're so close to Montreal that when I hear French, it doesn't seem
yeah, that is
foreign
true
to me.
Too. Yeah.
Like when I went to we talked about it. Like I went to France, wasn't any different. You go to Italy and hear people talking Italian, and you're like, oh wow, that's just like crazy. But
Yeah.
it's a totally different accent. Like, and the thing is, I've been to Ireland. Like, an Irish accent to me, if a girl has an Irish accent, I don't look at that. I'm like, oh my god, that's a beautiful like language. I love Ireland, but it's not.
I'm just not an accent person. You know what I mean? I don't really care.
Like, some people change like their GPS to have like a different sound. Like, they think they want like a British lady. I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like,
I don't care.
They're all annoying.
However, I will say I can't stand the Plattsburgh accent of the people that talk like, hey, bud, what are you doing, bud? Have you ever heard that? The rednecks of upstate?
Yes.
I can't stand that.
The tell you what's?
Oh, my God.
Tell you what.
I'll tell you what. Let me go get on my tractor. And I'm always like, no, it's your tractor. Like, Clinton Community College. I'm always like, it's Clinton Community College.
Yeah, you can
Clinton Community College really grinds my gears. It's not Clinton. I'm going to Clinton. I'm like, no, it's Clinton. Like, there's a T in there.
Dude.
There is.
Spell it. There's a T.
Like, there's a T. Stop rolling it like Clinton.
My problem is my mom used to get mad at me at this. So I would always say words like a verb. Verbs are ing. I would say a verb, but I would never pronounce the G. So like running, I would say running, like running.
Oh God, that would have made me crazy.
When I was like a kid, I would just like say, but I don't think I was like not trying to pronounce it. I think I just said it quick. So like I never said going. Maybe I said going. I don't know, but it just sounded like when I said it, it probably just rolled in. But my mom always got mad that I never pronounced the G's at the end of the word.
And if you ever do that in front of me, I would correct you.
We are talking.
Oh my God, no.
So
no.
We are podcasting.
Oh my God, no.
So you need the G. You need to have like the podcasting.
Like, I can totally understand like some words. Sometimes it just happens. But I also used to have a friend. Actually, I have two funny stories. My grandmother is from Brooklyn. She has a very like, you can tell she's from Brooklyn. And she calls Walmart with a K.
With a K.
Kmark. She doesn't mean to do it, but it's Walmart.
So.
And it always is like, oh, and would you like some? She kind of has like the Boston feel to water. Well, do you want some water?
Water.
But it's like her Brooklyn spin on it, so it's weird. But then I had a friend growing up, and if my friends are listening to this, they're going to know exactly who I'm talking about. She always used to say the word pumpkin. Pumpkin with an N. Pumpkin with pumpkin. Or I'm going to go have spaghetti. Like K, spaghetti.
She had a lisp, or she just...
No, it was just certain words, and I'd be like, girl, you got to get that checked out.
So she had a little...
But she did not... and it was not like...
She's got a little,
she couldn't help it, but it was just like, you would tell her, and she'd be like, I don't say pumpkin like that. And I'm always like, yeah, you do. You don't say pumpkin.
I think it definitely gets worse as you go west in the state.
Yeah.
And then I think as you go south, it's crazy because it's all the north, and I would say it starts to leave once you hit the Adirondacks. Because I don't find a lot of the Adirondacks are very like.
My sister says her A is all weird, and it makes my family crazy.
Really?
We make fun of her privately all the time, and to her face, obviously. But she'll call my dad.
Privately.
She'll call my dad like daddy. Hey, dad.
It's like a twang.
Yes, and it's always like, Alexis, you're not from like Rochester. Why are you talking like you are?
Albany, right?
Yes, there's no Albany accent. I don't know what that means, but you don't talk like daddy.
See, the thing is, like, here, Albany, let's call it Westchester, Putnam County, Dutchess, that area. So the like water is like that section and down. Yeah. Albany and us, it's almost like if you blended us and them, you get Albany, where they kind of have like a slight variation of it, but it's not as strong.
Yeah.
The other thing is if you go to Philly, Philly's got an accent too.
Yeah, I did know that.
So my brother-in-law is just outside Philly, and he does it in jest when he like makes fun of like the accent, because he's just kind of he just loves like the funny accents. But when you go down and people are saying some stuff, it's just like crazy some of the stuff they say, and it's weird that the biggest one is like water when you're down like
in the Boston.
I got some cousins that say that, and they're down in southern New York.
Actually, Brady's friends at St. Michael's, a lot of them were from Boston. And one time we were at his apartment and his roommate is from Massachusetts, just on the outskirts of Boston. And I said something. I said something along the lines of it's in the top drawer in like the bedroom for us. And Justin looks over at me and he goes, "Did you just say drawer? It's the draw." And we had this whole debate because he and all of his friends that grew up in Boston call it the draw. It's a draw.
Yeah,
and I'm like, it's in the drawer. But I also wouldn't normally say drawer. I'd say dresser. I would never say like it's in the drawer.
Drawer?
Yeah.
Dresser? I think I say dresser.
I say dresser.
Which is also a regional thing when you go with languages.
No, it is. And it's funny because Boston is very different than us. And it's like little things I'd notice where I'd be like, is that really, like, you say it like that? Like, I sound so like cultural. Well,
it's like when people
I'm like cultural shaming, I guess, in a way. Because I'm like, wait, what?
Have you ever seen the maps where they have like what people call stuff?
Yes, I have.
Like, this is what people call soda. So then you have this whole thing, and like, there's so many people that call it pop. There's so many people that call it soda. There's
water.
Water. That's probably like the deep south. They probably call that water. But there's some places where like you have, and it's pretty damn accurate. So that was soda, but there was some other stuff they had.
I just saw a map the other day. Are you a Girl Scout cookie fan? Mm-hmm. And it was a map.
And my Girl Scout. I think the Americas.
I can't eat them anymore because I have celiac disease.
They have a gluten-free one.
I know, but that's the only one I can eat. And I love tagalongs. Yes. I'm not a toffee fan, but I'll eat them. But tagalongs are my family's all-time favorite cookie with the peanut butter in them. But I just saw a map on my Facebook page like less than a week ago. And it was...
Wait, let me guess. What are you talking about? Which region likes what?
No, what region calls which cookies which because they're different depending on where you're getting your cookies manufactured.
So it's the same cookie, but they have it...
Yeah,
it's so they're not tagalongs like in Arizona.
Literally, they don't call them tagalongs on like the coast of California.
Really?
And then it's weird because it was the thing that blew my mind, me being a nerd, I'm like reading this and I was looking at the tagalongs and the Thin Mints because nobody was calling them like one or the other. And it was so bizarre to me because the center of like Nashville and everything, they called tagalongs something totally different. But then in like Arkansas and then over to the right in like Virginia, Pennsylvania, it's still tagalong. So it's like that one central area and like Michigan and those places, they call it different. And then it goes back to something totally different on the West Coast. And I was like, how do they decipher, like splitting it? It's literally like tagalong something else, tagalong something else.
I wonder what the reasoning would be.
I read in the comments, I don't know how accurate this is, but someone said it has to do with whatever manufacturing company is in that area. So it's like, you know, Tyson meat products or whatever. They might have something in Burlington, say, but then the people in New York might not be getting their meats wouldn't be made in Vermont. They're buying it from like a place in southern New York and it's not Tyson. So that's how they described it. It might just be a totally different manufacturer. It seems to
me that if you were making cookies for a company with the same label and boxes and everything else, like why would you change the name? Because I guarantee you the box looks the same.
And I guarantee you that tagalongs would be a great branding product. Tagalongs are
Those
a great name.
Those are your favorite tagalongs?
Yeah, and Thin Mints.
Before I make any rash my top 3 Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, I'm interested in this.
I'll tell you my top 3 and I'll tell you my least favorite.
Okay.
My least favorite is the one that's like raspberry or cranberry.
Oh yeah, I don't even know
that
the
might
name.
even be
I've
the gluten-free one. That might be the gluten-free one. It doesn't. The best one, Samoa. The coconut one.
Yeah, I think it's too sweet.
Oh, see, Samoa. That was my jam as a kid. Thin Mints, preferably cold, meaning out of the
same with
fridge
tagalongs. My mom puts
freezer.
them in the freezer and the fridge.
You pull, but the only thing is, if you're gonna take them when you come out of the freezer, give them like a couple minutes to set. Otherwise, you break your teeth. But Samoas and cold Thin Mints are. I think I would pick Samoa's one just because of nostalgia. But cold Thin Mints are probably my jam now because I agree tagalongs or Samoas are a little too sweet now. I liked them as a kid, but again, nostalgia. Put them 1. Thin Mints, cold Thin Mints 2. Number 3, the simple, the shortbread cookie.
Oh yeah, I do like the shortbread cookie.
Just straight up shortbread. It's the blue one.
So long.
Truffle? The truffle. Truffles?
I don't know, but it's like the cream colored cookie.
Very simple.
It kind of has a vanilla taste to it.
Yes, and I like something about a shortbread cookie.
They were so good.
Yeah, just because they're like simple.
I miss Girl Scout cookies.
I used to like to when I grew up, my mom drank a lot of tea, so I would drink a lot of tea at night. So like Girl
Yeah.
Scout cookies come on, like shortbread cookie with like tea, amazing.
Oh, yeah,
They're
that's yummy.
I forgot the lemon ones suck too.
Yeah, I'm not a lemon fan though.
No. Like lemon meringue pie.
Yeah.
I can have it, but I'm a key lime pie all day long. Lemon
Oh, I
meringue,
don't like key lime pie.
Oh, that might be top 3.
My
for sure.
mom is so obsessed with tagalongs that she one year, it was the year before I moved out. I will never forget this. I got home one day after work and I walk in the house and she's so our dining room has like a storage closet of like kitchen stuff that you don't use all the time, like the pasta bowls, our fondue set, like things like that. Yeah. Like her old, like the china she got for her wedding present, like things you just don't keep in your cabinets in the kitchen because you don't use them all the time. And she had a huge box and she was stacking tagalongs. She was hiding them. And she bought like 25 boxes of tagalongs and she hid them in the closet. And when you open that closet door, you can hear it through the house because it clicks. It goes like tick, tick, like, and then it's like a I don't even know. It was like a buzzing sound on what is that called? Whatever the spinny thing is on the door. The hinge.
Okay.
And she would hide them and she'd always tell you can't take her cookies. And she'd one by one, because we would have them for like dessert and she'd put them in the freezer for like dinner that night. And we had tagalong cookies for like 7 months because she said she always had to stock up on them because what does she do when she runs out?
All 4 of you love tagalong cookies.
Yeah, we all love them. My dad, not so much. My dad was more of the what did you just call him? The blue box. No, the blue box.
The truffles?
Yes.
Truffles?
Yeah, he's more, and he likes
Trefoils?
lemon. He likes lemon.
Really?
He's a lemon bar guy. The Hewitt side of the family, they all love lemon desserts. It's weird. But my mom is like a peanut butter chocolate all the way. And we would just eat tagalongs for days. We would snack on Girl Scout cookies like it was popcorn.
Last night, I had Thin Mints. I was at a house. Like, you want some Thin Mints?
Yeah.
I haven't ate dinner. I'm like, absolutely. I haven't been watching my...
and you eat like the whole box?
I had 2 or 3. The whole box, yes, was gone. By the time everybody ate, 'cause there's some kids there, done. But, yeah, like, I usually...
great.
I say usually. I haven't ate very well in probably 8 months. So that's why, hence, like, the drinking and, like, desserts are a little more like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
But I got to, like, rein it in a little bit. It's getting bad. But those cookies, I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, you can't say
Bring
no
them
to
on.
those cookies.
Give me like 2 months from now.
And they're
no.
so small, that justifies them. That's why you have to eat so many.
Oh, I'd eat the whole box. I'm kind of one of those dessert guys. Like, if I'm going to eat dessert, typically, I would just, like, if I'm going to go get ice cream, and I usually don't have dessert, if I'm eating ice cream, I'm eating the biggest ice cream. Like, I'm going all out. I'm going to make myself sick. Then I don't want it for like
You're
2
Brady.
weeks.
He's lactose intolerant. He gets upset stomachs, just cramping.
So you got to really love it if you're willing to take the upset stomach.
1 week, I would say like 2 weeks ago, he went 8 days in a row of eating a hand-packed pint. I would literally be like...
I did that during COVID.
He was doing it every night. I'd walk upstairs, and he was putting himself to bed before me, like
Stuart's
hiding
hand-packed?
it. Yes, because it's right around the corner from us. So he literally... over the summer, we always would walk Milo down to Stuart's, and we'd get milkshakes, and then we'd walk back. But I kind of stopped doing it because, 1, I need to fit into a wedding dress in 80 days,
Fair.
and 2... he was diagnosed as a lactose intolerant person. So I was like, okay, well, you need to pick and choose when you're going to be doing this. And then 3 weeks ago, it was the 1 week that I was like staying up all night because I was making all of the products for our flea market and stuff. So I'd go to bed at like 12:31. I'd go in the bedroom. He'd be almost like sleeping, but he'd have like the empty hand-packed pint on his lap while he's watching TV. And I'd be like, you're lactose intolerant. Why are you eating a pound of ice cream every single day? He doesn't care.
What was his favorite flavor?
Oh, he likes the peanut butter pandemonium.
Fair. That's classic.
He likes the chocolate chip cookie dough.
Fair. I had that last night.
I love their black raspberry and oh my God, it's really good.
I'm not a big fruit I'm not a big fruit person.
Oh my God, it's not too fruity though. It's a really good taste.
I know, but it's...
And then my favorite thing, actually, it was so weird. I used to hate mint. I hated it. And I like crave their cookie crumble mint
cookie crumble.
Oh my God, it's so good. And now I can't eat it because I have celiac.
That one and a brownie batter sundae.
Oh hell yeah,
that's intense. My favorite's cookies and cream, by far.
Oh,
Favorite.
I love cookies and cream,
That's
but I can't have that anymore either. The reason why I'm black raspberry now is because I can't have anything with cookie in it.
Why?
I have celiac. It's flour.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's rough.
So I lose. I can if I really
Can you
want
have ice
something
cream,
minty.
though? Is ice cream?
Yeah, but I have to read it because there's a lot of things with cookies, brownies. I can't have any of that.
Why do you think people are getting celiac disease?
So I actually just read a whole book on it.
I know multiple people that have been
It's our generation. It's less
diagnosed with celiac.
So it's our generation and down that are really, really bad. But I just read a whole book on it, like less than a month ago. And basically what the book was explaining was that it's 100%, it has to do with the chemicals. No matter what you're eating, you're still getting stuff through factories and stuff, even if it's labeled organic. It's whatever they're fertilizing stuff in the ground with. They're saying that's what's causing that's what they believe is causing the, I don't even know if I can technically call it a mutation, but it's almost like your body is mutating on
I
this.
know 1, 2, 3, 4,
It's really common now.
5. I know 5 people literally off the top of my head right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's without even attempting to try to count this up. 5 people off the top of my head that have celiacs.
Yeah.
One of them was born with celiacs, like family.
Oh, yeah. I believe
so
it.
4 of them, and I hate saying this, but like to the point where I hear people and like, I got celiacs. I can't have gluten. And I kind of want to call bullshit because I'm like, you don't. But then I sit there and I think maybe, because my original thought is that you don't. You just stopped eating gluten, felt better not eating gluten because you really shouldn't be eating a ton of like grains anyways.
Yeah.
So part of it's like, did you just cut out? It's like cutting out sugar.
So I actually talked to my GI doctor about this. So I have a GI doctor that I go to all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because they check I have an autoimmune disease, so I'm kind of different. They monitor my blood and everything. I have to get blood work done every 6 weeks, no matter what's going on in the world. And they watch because you can monitor your celiac numbers. So after you get diagnosed, so if you have celiac disease, what people don't realize is it shows up in a type of blood test. And then if you get a colonoscopy or an endoscopy, they take samples when you get it done. Mm-hmm. And they send it away to a lab and it gets tested. And if you have celiac disease, it will come back as you totally have it because they're testing your insides. Like there's no way to like deny it. But when I was in the process of getting my first colonoscopy, because they didn't know what was wrong with me, I didn't have celiac symptoms. He told me on the phone, whatever you do before your colonoscopy and your upper endoscopy, do not cut back on your gluten. And I remember being like, wait, why? Like, why would you want me just pounding pasta and all that crap? And he said, because once you cut that out, he said, you can't test for celiac disease anymore. He said, it's gone. So he said that's why he tells people who are not actually diagnosed with celiac disease, don't cut it out, because when you reintroduce it back into your diet, you're likely it will make you sick, basically. So now when I have a cheat meal, like just a few weeks ago, somebody gave me something. I can't remember who it was, but that doesn't matter. They told me it was gluten-free. The sauce that was on it wasn't gluten-free. And my stomach was so bloated, I looked like I was like 6 months pregnant. And it's uncomfortable because nothing happens. Like some people report that they have like issues going to the bathroom, like they have to go immediately, they have the stomach cramping. I just get bloating, but I do get stomach pains in the middle of the night that are like being stabbed. And that's really all I had, but that didn't happen to me. I had no celiac symptoms until I cut gluten out, because then my body registered it as an allergy. So you're teaching your body to live without it. And then when you reintroduce it, that's why you shouldn't just knowingly just say, I'm not going to eat gluten anymore. You should still have it in small varieties, but...
So you said that you didn't have it until you cut it out?
So I didn't have symptoms of it. So I had like really bad numbers. I actually am considered a severe celiac disease case. The day that they found, and before I got I was 23 and I got my colonoscopy, which is like unheard of. Mm-hmm. And they were checking out other symptoms that were weird. They were just weird symptoms. They were not anything that were celiac related. When I was in the room getting ready to go in to get my colonoscopy, he came in and he talked to my parents and he goes, well, I'm going to test her for celiac disease, but I don't think it's celiac. I'm not that worried. He verbalized that to me. And then my test came back and he was like, listen, Anna, your numbers are so clear that you have celiac. He said, you need to cut it out today. And then lo and behold, I ended up having severe celiac disease. And within, I would say it was about a month of me not eating gluten at all. When I did cheat or have something that was contaminated with gluten, my body by that point registered my life without gluten. Mm-hmm. So putting gluten back into my diet for like a cheat meal or something, my body knew like, you're not supposed to have that.
So you always had...
Yes. I just didn't have the symptoms that were like red flag celiac disease, if that makes sense.
Yes. Well, kind of. So like I I know someone that has celiacs, has had it their whole life. Family history had it. Like, I don't think she's ever had, knowingly had gluten. Probably, I'm sure, came across at some point in her life. But, so I look at someone like that, and everybody else I know has said, I have celiacs, which I always attribute to kind of what you said is, do you have it or do you decide to stop eating gluten, which naturally, I would say for a lot of people, just because of a health thing, it's like cutting out sugar. Like, you feel great. If you cut out that stuff, your insides then almost like reset because like, oh, thank God I don't have that crap in me. But are you actually allergic, or do you find that you just feel better because you don't have it?
I don't think you would be technically allergic. I think your body is registering it as now you're sick from it. But I also hear that people who do the keto diet, that when they come off the keto diet, they're sick after they go. That's why people say the keto diet isn't good for you.
Well,
I've heard mixed reviews of it, but I know that people, when they're getting off the keto diet and they're trying to go back to normal, they don't feel well and they feel like they've developed an allergy to whatever they're adding back into their diet. And it's kind of the same because your body has regulated not having something.
Yeah. We'll talk. Yeah. We'll go on the keto thing. So so I'm always skeptical when someone says they have a gluten allergy because then they start eating non-gluten stuff.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, and again, it doesn't mean that they don't have it, but I'm always wary of like, are you actually allergic, having tested to have it, or do you find that you're sensitive? Because if I stop drinking milk for extended period of time, I've gone 6 months, I've gone a year, I've gone 2 years without drinking dairy. Yeah. And not in a bad way, just cut it out of the diet, trying to eat better or whatever. And then when I reintroduced it for a couple weeks, I would have it, and it wasn't like bloatedness, but I'd get stuffed up. I'd have allergies. So I'd get stuffed up, I have to blow my nose, I get like snotty. And it's because I introduced it back in. But I would not say I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah, no. So, and I don't think it's the same thing if you do that with, I don't think you have celiac disease if you cut it out, like you're choosing to cut it out. And then you're trying to like add it back in later.
I think people cut it out, add it back in. And then when they add it back in, they have a reaction to it because it's the same thing. I have a reaction
your body,
to dairy, but I'm not going to go around saying I'm a lactose intolerant.
Yep.
Just
no, it's definitely a totally different thing to get test results back. And so here's
if you're tested and it says you have it,
that's I think that's different. But like the other thing that people don't realize is people will say they cut out gluten from their diet. And then I'll get to talking with them. I know one person specifically who was like, I cut out every piece of gluten and then I had such an intolerance to it after, yada, yada, yada. So then I started digging. I was like, well, what did you cut out? Because I had to go to a nutritionist. So I was so severe. I got referred to a nutritionist because it was literally like a lifestyle change. There are things that you don't even know have gluten in them that you have to cut out. Like my shampoos, I have to read my shampoo bottles. Your body washes, your soap, your mousse that you put in your hair if you have curly hair. You need to read makeup bottles, powdered foundation. Everything has a risk of having wheat, barley, gluten. And they were like, oh, no, well, none of my stuff has it. I just haven't had to look. And I'm like, okay, well, if you read the fine print, you've probably been putting gluten in your body through your hair follicles on the top of your head for the last 10 years.
That's why I always wonder. I think if you're diagnosed, I think some people feel better off of it, which I think is natural. And then they proclaim that they're now celiac, which again, which is fine, but I think if you're going to the extreme, because my thing is, one, it's expensive to, and I don't think you cannot eat gluten totally fine by cutting out those styles of food. But the problem is people still want breads, pastas, and all that crap, so they don't want to cut out the food. They just then go buy twice the amount of money for something that's gluten-free. When I'm like, I don't know if and again, maybe it's better. I don't know.
No, so like we had the conversation when I got referred to the nutritionist. Actually, my nutritionist and my GI doctor both told me this. Brady's first thing when he found out I had gluten intolerance, he was like, oh, so we'll just be a gluten-free household. There's like nothing that bad, whatever. And my GI doctor was like, no, he needs to keep eating gluten because if he ever develops a celiac disease you need to be able to track it. And if he cuts gluten out, you're never going to know. And he was like, wait, really? But Brady loves sandwiches. He loves wraps. He loves breaded chicken. Like he likes gluten. So it's always that happy medium of like, I feed him gluten and I have to make sure I don't have gluten. So we kind of in a way sometimes double shop where like if I make like our latest thing is we got an air fryer. So you can make a fried chicken in an air fryer without frying your chicken. Mm-hmm. It's actually really good. So he's been putting them in wraps and stuff. And so he's been on a big wrap, like experimenting because TikTok has all those like cool wrap tricks and everything. And I make a point to like give him his breadcrumbs and then I'll do mine in gluten-free breadcrumbs. And then I'll just clean it in between and do 2 separate like things because I don't want him to have to eat something that's drier and grosser because...
Do you find that gluten food's drier and grosser?
No, honestly, not really, but it does.
But
he notices it. I don't notice it as much. Pasta was a struggle for me at the beginning of it because I couldn't find a pasta that cooked perfectly. But I found 2 pastas that I use all the time now, and you can't even tell, honestly.
Have you ever done spaghetti squash?
Yeah, but I don't love spaghetti squash. Isn't that weird? I love vegetables, but
I love
spaghetti squash isn't my thing.
Like a spaghetti squash or like a bolognese, like
that's Alexis's thing. She loves that recipe. And I've noticed that the one thing that is a letdown, and no matter like every capacity, it's a letdown to me, is dessert.
Oh yeah, gluten-free dessert sucks.
Gluten-free dessert, no matter what you do, it just doesn't taste right. But like, the one thing that I've found,
it's palatable. You can eat it, but it doesn't taste better.
It's not like Rombach's cake. No, you know what I mean? Like French pastries from Rombach's, man. Oh God! And then I haven't had one in so long now.
Take the tea cake at Rombach's. If
you were to take
the tea cake at Rombach and say, "Here's the gluten-free," it would not be
as
people
moist,
hate this word, moist,
as yummy, soft, smooth, but like delicate at the same time. The problem is with gluten. So I've actually learned how to substitute because I cook a lot. Mm-hmm. So I learned with xanthan gum, you can make things to be more like they have gluten in them. So for every cup of gluten-free flour, you put in a teaspoon of xanthan gum and it adds the gel to make it stick.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep.
So I've learned like ways to get around it if I'm making something like a cupcake or a cake.
For the
for the texture. Yeah, like the moisture, the texture. It does help in a way, but it's still not like I was a big cake snob because of my mother. She raised me to like Rombach's.
Martha Stewart.
Yeah, seriously. So like it created the devil in me. And that's the only thing I'm ever disappointed on is dessert, really, because everything else I've found really good brands. I have stuff that I get at Aldi's because I like it better than like at Market 32. But gluten allergy related foods and products, they've come such a long way that it really is. Yeah. You don't suffer. You can get gluten-free bread. It's $8 a loaf. It's ridiculous. But the bread is totally fine. I've never been like a bread snob. I'm not even a big bread person to begin with. But the loaves of bread, I buy the loaves of bread and I don't mind them at all.
Like when I was a kid, my sister was allergic to dairy young. So my parents, this was back, this is in the late 90s, she would go to the co-op. So we would go to the co-op, she had to buy soy milk. Mm-hmm. But this is 20 plus years ago.
Yeah.
You went to the co-op because they had soy milk. They were the only place that had soy milk. Now you can go to Stewart's or they got almond milk or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy how much, which is good. But I'm always curious because if they didn't have it back then, and now it's very mainstream, like at some point the demand for it got so great that they had to now start putting it in play.
Yeah.
What caused that? Which again is I think just the modern diet. Things change that way. But yeah, that was my wonder because I know so many people that are celiac later in life, and I don't know enough about the disease, but it just like part of me thinks a lot of it's placebo effect, and part of me thinks there's legitimate.
It's come a long way though. Yeah. So I actually just a week ago I had my last GI appointment last Wednesday actually, and he told me that I have a few more tests I have to get done because they're still trying to like figure out the root of. I still have a lot of the same issues that I've had before I was diagnosed with celiac disease. And he just talked to me the other day. He was like, I think you're part of like the 2 percentile of people with celiac disease that suffer such extreme symptoms that it's causing you to have these other symptoms and make you think it's something else. And so he talked to me about going to Sloan Kettering in New York City. And I guess they have a whole celiac disease like case study floor for severe celiac patients. You meet with people who are doing like, they're trying to find cures for celiac disease apparently, like pills like Lactaid for celiac. Nothing's come out, but it's basically they're just studying it because it's still a big unknown in our time period. And it's because it's taken off in our millennial generation. Gen Z people have celiac disease way more than like my parents' generations, your parents. It's definitely something with the way things are being manufactured, farmed, planted, stuff like that.
So, why did you say keto diet before? Is someone on keto or doing keto?
Yeah, so I knew someone that was doing the keto diet, and then when she reintroduced normal life again, she was sick for like 3 weeks getting back to normal.
How long was she on keto?
I don't even know. Probably like 7 or 8 months.
Oh, Jesus, that's long.
Yeah.
So, like, my thing with... I think if someone's able to maintain keto, like, forever, they're probably okay. The problem... and I
Keto's hard.
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing that I always talk about with keto and all these diets is tell me someone that you know that is on keto and is still on keto.
I don't know anybody that's ever
so
stuck with it.
the whole thing, the whole reason I say that is because it's a non-sustainable diet. So if you go, thank you. If you go look at someone that's on keto, they do it for a month, they do it for 2 months, whatever. They lose a ton of weight quick because they're losing all of that kind of like water weight, that first water weight stage. Which I'll be honest, if you know, like ever follow like wrestling, UFC, boxing, any of those guys, and they got to cut weight. I believe some of those guys can cut 20 pounds in a day if they had to. Yeah, because they go sit in a sauna, they do sweatsuit, because you have so much water in your body. I mean, you look like shit and you're dehydrated, but then you put all the weight back on. Yeah. Like they step on the scale. Hey, I'm 155. Next thing you know, what they balloon up to 170, 175. By the time they step in the ring, they're just like a completely different person.
Literally.
But the keto idea, to me, it's like if all you're eating, like I love meat, I love stuff like that. Yeah. I can't eat that. I like vegetables. I like different kind of carbs. I like, different kind of fats.
I love vegetables.
But it's like but you like any diet where you can't eat like an apple, like blows my mind.
I'm allergic to apples.
Well, okay. Well,
no, I swear to God, my face. No, I get hives.
I believe that, but that's for another discussion. The
Isn't
apple.
that crazy?
But like, imagine you can't have fruit.
A lot of fruit makes my throat itch.
Okay, and I
live a lame life with fruit.
Well, you can drink wine,
but I love fruit. That's the problem.
This is where your fruit grapes.
Grapes don't bother me actually.
There you go. Especially when they're fermented.
It's pineapples and watermelon that are really bad. That make my throat really itchy.
Pineapple's my favorite fruit.
Oh my God, I love pineapple, but I can't eat big amounts because my throat literally feels like it has chicken pox.
Well,
but apples make my lips swell up to be like the size of Russia.
Did you ever have chicken pox as a kid?
No.
Okay, so
did you?
Yeah, we'll talk about chicken pox. We'll talk about chicken pox. So I got a couple scars from him too. Okay, so keto, I don't think sustainable. I know people that do it. They do it for a month or 2 months. They look great. Like, oh my God, you look great.
Yeah.
But they have no energy. Yep. They lose weight quick. Have no energy. The problem is when you're trying to sustain, in order to do anything, if all you're having is protein, which is mostly what it is, you have some fat because you're eating steaks and stuff. You have fat there. But, if you don't have fat or carbs for your those are your energy sources. If you do not have those, especially if you're someone that's working out, you need carbs to work out. There's like... I know you get these people like a high fat diet. You can use the high fat diet too, but you need fat or carbs with your protein. You can't just say like eat protein, nothing else. You can't just eat. You don't want to just eat carbs. You want to just eat fat. But it's these people that like I'm cutting out everything but meat, or I'm cutting out everything but protein all day long. It's like the carnivore diet and stuff. I think you could do it. You probably feel great for a while, and I don't discount the effects of it. But but think about it. Like if you're making, there's a difference. Like a diet to me versus like a lifestyle health change is totally different. So if
I agree.
Like, I'm going to diet. I'm going to do low carb. I'm going to do keto. I'm going to do paleo. I'm going to do South Beach, Atkins are all the same. It's like high protein, low fat, low carbs. If you do all those things, you'll be fine. But then you got to find, if you really want to be good, you got to find like a lifestyle. Not, hey, I'm on this like 30-day fix. Whole 30. I'm like, great. So you did it for 30 days, look great. Take another month because you relapse, go back to where you were. Same thing. So when people try to lose weight and they try to do these like crash diets, like great, you dropped 20 pounds when you should be dropping 80. You dropped 20, but then you ended up getting back on the wagon and gained it all back within like 3 weeks. And it's like if you want to change because you're depriving yourself, like most people in my experience too, it's like take one protein, carbs, fats, take one of those out. Like those are your 3 basic macronutrients. Take one of those out and try to like go live a normal lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's you're making when I was eating the best and which was, I'll be honest, all last year leading up to COVID, and COVID hit. I was like, screw it, I don't care. And I'm still kind of in the screw it, don't care. But like back then, I was eating a ton. I was super lean. Had a lot of energy, but I wasn't depriving myself of anything. Like I cut out desserts, I cut out alcohol for a while, but it wasn't like I was like not going to drink. Like if I was like out socially, I would have a drink. But you cut out the sugar. I was eating protein. I was eating vegetables. I was eating carbs. I was eating good ratios of it. I was having good fats. And there was nothing that was like stopping me. So when I was like, oh, I'm going out to dinner tonight and I'm going to Latitude 44. Oh, that was... that made you jump.
God,
that made you jump.
That literally just made my ears ring.
That hit 5.2 in the Richter. So if I know I'm going out to eat somewhere, I kind of know what I'm going to have.
Yeah.
But if I'm going out to, like, say, Latitude, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have, like, when I go to a restaurant like that, I like to have a drink before the meal.
Yeah.
I usually like to get a steak or seafood, and I like to pair it with a wine. I like an appetizer, or like I get what I get.
Yeah, no, you're like Brady and I.
Yeah, like if I'm going out to a nice restaurant, I want like all the courses. I want dessert, I want a coffee after a meal, I want everything. But when I go do that and I break it down, I either know, typically going out to eat, you're going to always go higher, number one, as protein, carbs, and fats. You're always going to go higher in fats, number one. Number two is carbs, three is protein. You're probably going to have lower protein than normal. You're going to have higher fat, higher carbs. Yeah. So looking at that, you just make, okay, so I'm going to go a little like leaner throughout the day, a little less carbs throughout the day, try to up my protein throughout the day, so then when I go, I know I can kind of get back to normal ratios or be slightly off of what you normally are, but it's like once a week, once every few weeks, whatever. So I think, to me, that's a lifestyle where if I go to, I am aware of what I'm eating, but if I want to go to Latitude and get like a steak with rice and vegetables, and then I want to have a appetizer of like calamari or something, and like then I want to have a dessert, like me and my wife want to get a dessert or coffee or have some drinks, I'm not like killing myself because I'm in like a good spot where, no, am I going to go and get like loaded like mac and cheese with like bacon bits and crap all over it? No, but one, if you're eating well, you don't want that. So like I'm usually like, give me your seafood special, give me your steak special, give me like something, you know, I might get like the chicken wings for an app, or I might get like a, like we love like antipasta salads, like at Italian restaurants, like or like go to Arnie's and get it there. It's amazing, like stuff like that.
Arnie's is so good.
So we like, you pick and choose, but like to me, there's no restriction. Like I never restrict my diet.
Yeah,
like sugar, desserts, yes, but that's not a real like. Most people, if they gave themselves like a couple weeks not to have sweets, they'd be fine. They think in their head they need it, but they won't.
So since I started to have a gluten allergy and then I got engaged, do you know what's funny? The number one question I got when I got engaged was, so are you doing are you going on a diet for the wedding? My wedding? Isn't that crazy? One, I was always irked by it because I am not a dieter. I've never dieted in my entire life. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. But my mentality, so I've read a lot of books since I got diagnosed with celiac disease on like maintaining your health, but not dieting. You know what I mean? And honestly, I have my own garden. I grow my own vegetables. I get all my vegetables during the summer from my farm share in my garden myself. So I'm very like conscious of what I'm putting into my body vegetable wise. And I get a lot of my meat at my farm CSA place. But I just don't think dieting is always the way you need to like live your life. So for me, I'm like, I don't need to be a size 0 to feel like my best self. You know what I mean? So dieting to me is just a waste of my time. I just know like yesterday, Brady and I got McSweeney's for dinner. I had a light lunch. Literally, I had, I can't even remember. Oh, I had a spinach salad, literally spinach and balsamic vinegar, dressing and some feta crumbles on top. That was it. So, like, I am totally self-aware in the sense where, like, if I know I'm going to load on my carbs and calories at dinner time, I'm not going to pound a whole block of cheese with crackers at lunch. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like if you're conscious about what you're putting into your body, you do feel better. And that's where I'm like, I've never felt like I needed to go, I'm not a size 0, but I'm not, like, obese. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm healthy. And the thing is, I always say to, like, my friends and everything.
I know this is crazy. If you don't mind saying, what size are you normally?
So it depends on the store, as crazy as that sounds.
No, that's fine.
For pants, so I have a little bit of a, people who played soccer, Gina probably understands my struggle with this. You have big legs, and then your calves are not as big as your thighs.
Okay.
So I'm in between a 4 and a 6. Which is still pretty small.
Which seems okay. The only reason I say this because I'm again guy, very dumb sense of like
American Eagle size is really small, so I'm usually a 6 there.
Okay, so if I look at when you hear these people are like size 0, size 2, and you're talking about like models and people like that, and I look at you and you said what 4 to 6, like I would say what's Anna? I'm like I would say Anna's average to below average, like in weight size. Like you don't look big at all to me. Like so I'm like she looks like a normal healthy kid, or a kid, girl, whatever woman. But when you hear these people that say like 2 to like 0 to 2. Like in my mind, small. I was going to say a 2.
I was a 0 to a 2 until I was in college. So like, I went through a phase where all girls go through this phase. It's kind of crazy. When you get to like your age of like 20 to 24, your body is literally by default preparing for a baby. So your hips break out a little bit. Your body widens. You get thicker. Like, and it's not like you're getting thick because you're fat. But a lot of girls in my age group, I know from my friends, they complain that they're fat. And for me, I've always been the person where I'm like, I don't feel fat. I feel like I'm healthy.
No, it's a biological
thing.
And
literally, I feel like since I have filled out, I do like my body filled out. I think it looks better. I also think that's people surrounding me. They think, they always say like, you look healthy.
A 20-year-old girl to a 25-year-old girl, 25-year-old girls blow them out of the water. I mean, I'm saying they fill out and they look like
no, literally.
A 20-year-old, like high school, college. I remember as a kid, you're like, oh my God, high school, college girls. But like now you look at these kids and like, they look like little kids, but it's like, they're so small that at 25,
you look like a woman.
Like you look like a woman. And then as you get like 25 to 30, I think is when people are like, okay, you are like,
your body's
ready. Like your body. Like that's going to be your body for.
And it's when you go to like like I know girls have to go to an OBGYN like once or twice a year. They'll tell you like, oh yeah, your hips are preparing to carry a baby. Like my figure has completely changed so I've always had like an hourglass figure, but I was a 0.
But when in high school, your hips are going to be smaller. Like
you're
going to be
literally
more like straight down versus
just
out.
The other day, it was I think Sunday. I was looking through old Facebook pictures, and it was from my freshman year of homecoming. My legs were like my pinky. I had no breasts. I had like no fat on me. And I looked at that and I literally was like, I look like I'm 10 years old in that picture. And I was a size 0 to a 2 right through my freshman year of college. And then obviously I went to college and I gained weight because I was like running around more. I was introduced to alcohol when I was in college. I wasn't a drinker in high school, so college was really like it for me. And then I got really sick in college. So from the time that I got my autoimmune disease from my mono is what got me so sick. I lost 22 pounds in my freshman year of college. Jeez. And I was literally a size 00. And then my weight ever since then, I am that person who, I think this is also why I'm like, I'm not going to fast. I'm not going to do these crazy things, because if my body tells me how it's feeling, I'm going to go with it, because I know when my body was feeling horrible, it was horrific. And it was a lot about energy and everything, and like having to sleep for hours on end. I lost 22 pounds my freshman year of college after I had gained like my freshman 15. And when I was sick, I was like down and out. I was sleeping like 5.5 hour naps during the day. I would sleep from 8 p.m. until...
Because you weren't eating enough?
No, I had mono.
Oh, when you're sick. Okay.
So then from that point on, my body never recovered from mono. So I have Epstein-Barr. I don't know if anybody's familiar with this. I've only met a handful of people who have it. But my body reactivates with mono symptoms, and it causes you to lose your appetite. You gain weight. So my body weight has always like fluctuated. I am very prone to gaining 12 pounds and then losing 16. 2 months later, I've gained 8 more, and then I lose 10. Like you never really can keep up with it. And that's part of the reason why they watch my blood work and everything. Because I also have chronic anemia. And a lot of that has to do with when my body is telling me like I'm craving broccoli or I'm craving steak. I know my body is telling me because I need it. So that's kind of where I look at it as I'm not going to diet. I'm not going to tell myself I can't eat McSweeney's because I've gained 5 pounds. Like I really don't care. And you know what? Size 4 and 6, 8, 10, a lot of people, female-wise, that is completely normal.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, I just feel so bad for the people who think that they have to be a size 2 or 4. Because it's not the case. Well, and I think girls are more attractive when they are thicker, healthier.
Curvier,
yeah, strong. You look at them and you're like, that girl is eating well, living well, and she's healthy.
I've never been attracted to skinny girls. Just not as a bad thing. It's just like,
no, it's a thing.
Well, I think too, like, again, you take guys like natural, biological. Okay, you're a human being. You know, guys, girls, whatever. Like, there's a reason why breasts and butts are attractive to a male because biologically that was the reproduction aspect of the female and stuff, and that's why I think to this day it's like that's what attracts a lot of guys. That's where their eyes go, not because they're perverts, it's because they're legitimately
but here's the thing I always say,
some part of the
actually,
but
Brady and I just had this discussion the other day. You know how people are like automatically labeled perverts if they're like, oh my god, she's got a great butt. Brady and I are like the weirdest pair because I totally look at everybody. I'm like, not because I'm attracted to them, but I'll be like, oh my god, she is the greatest legs ever. Like, look at how good she looks in that dress. You know what I mean?
I think that's
and my girlfriends and I always talk about it is girls will tell you they don't pay attention, but you look at everything. It's girls, like, it's human nature.
Girls are, I think it's because girls are more, they compare themselves more.
Yeah.
I don't, like, if I look at a dude, I don't compare to like a guy that's like jacked and like this huge dude of like, now if he's like overly big, meaning like, dude, this guy like just like eats weights for breakfast kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then you just know because he's overly big. It's like seeing a tall person. But I'm saying like a normal person, if they're in like decent shape, I wouldn't look at him and be like, man, that guy's like really good shape. Now, if somebody were to ask me like, oh, that guy, does he look in good shape? I'd be like, yeah, he looks like he works out. Like, I mean, like, like naturally, like doesn't look out of shape. Where a girl, I think you guys would compare each other more purely for the fact of, I think girls compare bodies more. I think it's just
they
natural.
do, yeah.
Like I don't really.
It's kind of annoying though, because I'm always just like.
But I don't ever like my thing
who
with.
Who cares?
Like, and I think guys like yes, I mean like guys look at girls all the time. It's like it's just natural. You've been doing it since you were a kid. Like that. Where I don't find girls, maybe they do. I don't know. I don't find girls are. Like guys look at girls all the time. I don't think that's the same with girls to guys. But I also think that girls are more likely to be like. She's really pretty, good butt, legs, whatever.
Yeah.
Guys aren't going to say like, dude, he's like great pecs. You know what I mean? Like you'd never say that about a guy.
Yep.
Like if you were to ask me if there was a guy there, you're like, oh, he's a pretty good looking guy. Like I'd look at him like, yeah, I could see that. Like because guys can recognize like if a guy's like fairly attractive, probably to the other
and
sex.
The same
like,
with girls.
You're not like unaware. Like if you look at a guy that's like a model kind of thing or an actor, you're like, yeah, he's a good looking dude. Like, but. We would judge girls more, but I don't think I'd ever be like, honestly, Brad Pitt, man, he's a looker. Like, I would never say that to somebody, but I would say it about a girl. And I've said it like to Gina, like a girl come on, wow, she's really pretty. Or,
and that's like normal though. That's where I'm like, and I just don't understand why people get so weirded out by stuff like that. Or like a female saying another female has a great figure, or she looks great in that outfit. You know what I mean?
I sent a picture the other day to Gina, and it was this girl I saw like on Barstool Sports or whatever, and she was kicking field goals, like legit field goals, like far field goals to the point like NFL like level field goals. Obviously nobody's around her, but she's just running and kicking these balls. She's a soccer player. So I sent it to my wife. Cute looking girl, probably college player.
Yeah.
Huge like quads and legs. Who's a soccer player. So I sent it to my wife like, wow, look at how far she's kicking the ball. And I would say on a scale of like, she was probably slightly above average in like the looks department, meaning I wasn't like, oh my god, she's beautiful, but I was like, yeah, she's kind of cute.
It's attractive.
I didn't even say that. I was like, she's kicking the football. Yep. My wife goes, I love her legs. So she's tan, big, strong legs, and that was what Gina said. And I was like, oh yeah, she does.
I notice legs all the time, and I can look at somebody's a female's legs and know. Well, I know when they're complaining, like I've sat at a table with someone who's complaining about their body and I'll be like, did you play soccer in high school or did you run track? Because there's also the thing as the soccer legs and track butt. That's a thing on females.
Soccer legs, butt too, but soccer legs for sure. Because I grew up playing a lot of soccer and like a lot of the girls.
I'm trying to find my homecoming picture because it doesn't even
Well, I mean, Gina, she's always like just very strong legs.
That's why I said Gina totally knows what I'm talking about because it's a thing.
Yeah. Oh, for
strong
sure.
legs and they never like leave you.
Her thing is like jeans are always a problem.
Yes, like, jeans. Finding jeans that fit me.
I actually have.
I can't even explain it to you. It's like such a disaster.
My favorite jeans, I wear them all the time. I got. The other thing is people I think I wear the same pair. I have like 3 of the same pair of jeans. I just swap them because they're...
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. I wear the same jeans over.
But I bought like the same exact, like multiple pairs of the same jean.
Oh, that's smart. That's what Brady did recently.
Yeah. So like I just like that cut. So instead of wearing the same pair every day, I have 3 of them. So they can all like...
Yeah, that's a good plan.
they're Banana Republic like athletic cut.
Yeah.
So they fit really nice, but then they have like a slight stretch. They're not like jeggings, but they're jeans, but they have a slight like give to the fabric. They're not like old school jeans that like are just snug. So I wear them all the time, and they're so comfy. But that wasn't until recently they came out with jeans like that. So like unless you're wearing sweatpants, like jeans were always like you put jeans on, and the waist would be really big, and you have to put a belt on and look goofy and baggy because the legs were too big.
So this is the picture that I looked at the other day, and I was like, I look like I'm 14. I'm a sophomore in high school.
Oh, you're on the left?
Yeah.
No, let me see that.
How tiny am I in that picture?
Oh my God, Anna.
Is that not wild?
So was that you like throughout high school?
Yeah, all through high school. That's what I look like.
See, so you what, 15 there?
Like that big.
So like I looked at.
I was like 15, 16, and then there was one other picture where I was like,
I guess it only seems weird because like it's literally your head on that body. You know what I mean?
I know.
That's why it seems weird. But like if you were to take like a kid, again, like you're in high school, like oh my God, these girls are like these not huge.
This was the
huge,
other one.
Bad term. These girls are like big women or whatever, and then all of a sudden but in real. When you're a 15-year-old, you're thinking girls are like women and are not little kids. And then now when you look at it,
like look at my legs.
You know what's even crazier? Not even your legs. It's like just your arms.
My arms, my face is teeny.
No, we talked about it. If you go from your leg up and then your arms, it's because girls at that age, they don't have the hips. So it's like everything's just like there's very slender.
I don't know. I just can't look at this without being like, oh
But like you said, it's like if you go from a 18, 20-year-old girl to 25, for the better for almost every girl, you fill out. And then it's like, okay, so like now you look like a woman compared to like a little girl that was in high school. Even college girls start to fill out.
Even in this picture, so this is a 1.5 year difference from that blue dress that I just showed you to the end of my freshman year of college. I think even in this photo, I'm starting to fill out. You can tell that was the end of my freshman year of college. But even in that photo, I can tell I was filling out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for sure.
So it was weird because... There's a few things on
you that I'm like, yeah, they're much bigger than what... Like,
yeah, like you can see like my stomach has filled out, my arms, my legs. You can just tell it was like, it literally was once I turned 18, honestly, that it was like a change in my body.
Man, like if I go back...
It's so crazy to go back in pictures though. And the other day when I did it, I was looking at photos of myself and I literally was like, oh my God.
You know when you go back through photos and you see these old photos and you're like, holy crap. Like, I'm just looking at some from 2015. 6 years ago.
No, isn't it crazy? But honestly, I look at the pictures of me when I was like a size 0 and a size 2 and I think I was so healthy back then. But I look back at it and I'm like, oh my God, I look so unhealthy because I was skin and bone. But obviously I wasn't because that's like, I was in a good size for that age group. But I like the fact that I filled out and I look like a woman now.
Actually, I look pretty big there. like fit big. Like this was when we went to Florida. But like there was a time period where I used to work out a lot. Not like a gym, but like I was like...
Oh my God, you look like buff.
Yeah, like thick.
Yeah.
Thick boy. Like in a good way, not like fat. Like I look actually like jacked. But let me see. I'm trying to go back to... You'll get a kick out of this. So these are the old photos right here. So this was my first ever... Where'd it go? God. 2011. When did you graduate high school?
14.
Wow. This was me... What year is this?
So you were
February. What? Okay, so this was February 23rd, 2011. I think I posted this on Instagram a while ago, like a couple years ago maybe. This was my first ever. This was basically my second month of real estate, and I had to get a headshot. So the lady,
I want to see it.
The lady that used to work at her office, she's like, hey, I need to get a photo for the business cards. Me now, I would have a stroke if this is how we did photos, like literally like a camera like this.
No, seriously.
And then, now I'm like, no, in the backdrop, we need lighting, like let's make it look professional.
That's so funny.
This was me, 2011, so I was 9, 10, 11. I was probably 20. I was 21 years old.
Oh my God.
Amazing, isn't it?
That's wild.
Like
tiny. It's like zoomed in.
I was like 150 maybe. Shirt, like looking like...
That's Brady.
No. Is it?
Isn't that hysterical? That's junior year of high school.
Oh my God.
Is that not wild?
Were you dating at the time?
Hell no. I had a different boyfriend.
Wow, Brady, well done, man.
My boyfriend.
Brady.
So in that photo, my boyfriend was in the picture with the sequin dress. That's who I was dating at the time, and Brady was just my friend.
How old's Brady there? Brady looks like 10.
Junior in high school?
He looks like 10. A
Yeah.
10-year-old. He looks
literally.
itty bitty.
Look at these. This is what's so funny. So this is my best friend Brooke, and that's Brady. Like, look at how young he was.
My
So
God.
even
He looks
the
like a little
body
kid.
changes health-wise, even for like him, are like astronomically different.
Did he like grow like 2 feet?
So when he went to college. So here's what's
He
funny.
looks really short there.
So this was him in middle school. He was like short and fat. So long story short, Brady and I were just friends all through high school and college. And do you know what's funny? He went to college. He had a different girlfriend, and we maintained like a friendship, but we weren't that close through college because obviously we were busy doing other things. But by the time he graduated high school and moved on to college, I didn't see him for like the 2-year span between his freshman and junior year in person. I saw him once, and it was at a party. We were in passing, kind of drunk. So it wasn't like I left and I was like, oh my God, he looks really good. So when he and I got in contact again his junior year of college, and this was when we started hanging out again, we were both single, and at this point we really, I don't think, had any intentions of dating. I remember picking Brady up at the ferry with my cousin Liam, and he stepped off the ferry to come to my car because he walked on because he didn't have a car at St. Michael's.
Fair.
I remember looking at him in the back of the mirror and being like, oh my God, he doesn't look like he's 12.
Oh, he grew up.
Literally, like, it was like a 2-year span of he doubled in size. He was like thick. He had thick, muscular shoulders, and he looked like a man. And I remember being like, I looked at my cousin Liam, and it's so funny because Liam and I just talked about this a week ago. I looked at Liam and I was like, oh my God, I'm screwed. Because I literally looked at him and I realized, holy crap, I used to think he was so like baby-like.
Oh, you're like, he's cute now.
I was like, oh my God, he looks so good.
Oh.
And then
Attaboy,
that
Brady.
night, he came back to my house. We slept in separate bedrooms because we were just friends. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, I must be like the world's ugliest human because I was all up in his business and he would not even like kiss me. I was like making all the moves.
That night?
Yeah, he wouldn't do anything. Well, we were buzzed. We were drinking. But I was like all up on him and he was like doing nothing. And I remember when he left the next morning, I was like, oh my God. And then we started dating like a month later. But it was just that weird, like, it went from me being us totally, he always wanted to like date me, but I always friend zoned him because I was also seeing other people. You know what I mean? He then got a girlfriend, and when he got the girlfriend, it was the day he asked her to be his girlfriend. I texted him and said, oh, that sucks. I had feelings for you. And then he was like, well, then let me break up with her. And I was like, no, just stay with her. Because I was like, he let me date my boyfriend for years. He deserves to have a girlfriend. I thought they would last like a whopping 5 minutes. They dated for like 2 years. And then I broke up with my boyfriend again, and then he broke up with his girlfriend, and then our paths crossed like by default. And I remember the two of us just started talking again as friends because we were finally like both single, fun. We were like, oh, we can go out together, whatever. And he was like, yeah, let me come over and visit you. And then from that point on, I knew when he stepped off the ferry, I was completely attracted to him. I was literally like, oh
Amazing.
my God, he looks so good. And it was just because his like body had like thickened, as weird as that sounds. Oh, you look like Brady. You
Soccer.
literally look exactly like
Small.
Brady.
Small. Like,
oh God.
I was like 145, 150 back then. But you play soccer, so it's like.
That's so funny. Oh my God.
That was like our class
No,
photo.
honestly though,
What
your
a world.
haircut reminds me of Brady.
Dude, I actually had long hair there.
You guys had like the same long, skinny.
This is when I won the state
Torso.
I won like a golf tournament state championship right before I went to college.
That's so funny.
Dude, I'm like, I don't even know.
You're
How,
like
I might be
baby.
like 140 there. I was probably really skinny. But like, you stopped playing. I wasn't a big eater.
That's so funny. That makes me like laugh so
But
hard.
it's like you look at stuff like that, and it's like, it's unreal how, like you said, when you grow up and stuff.
And you can like see the difference.
Well, that's the thing. It's like if you, it's just, I don't know. It's just different. I think if you like, I think guys too, college was a big thing. I probably started really like gaining size just out of college.
Yep.
Like 23, 22, 23, I think was kind of when I started to hit that second wave. Because like you're like 18.
Yep.
Not big. Even if you lift and stuff in high school, you're still not that big. Like
since Brady moved home from college, his face and his chin line, like his jaw, his whole neck has gotten like thicker from like he has like a more manly feature to him.
Yeah.
And it's a noticeable difference. Again, photos are what you notice it on. It's when I go through pictures of like his senior year of college to like the year he moved in with me.
That one you showed me when he was
a
it
little
in the hallway?
boy.
In the hallway, he looks like he's 10.
No, it's crazy. And
It's
then
funny.
look at this one. This was at my sister's wedding. He was my +1 to my sister's wedding.
Were you dating him at the time?
No, we were friends.
Did he bleach his hair?
No, it was like naturally. It's
Okay.
the sun, but it was like
okay.
he
It
had
looked
like
has,
a
tips.
yeah, he had like a blonde
He
brown.
how old is he there?
He was going into college. He hadn't gone yet.
He
So
doesn't
like
look that
18.
young in that one.
So this was the day that I said to my friends,
Oh, that was a fairy day.
this was the day of my sister's wedding where I was like, I said to my friends privately, like, I think I like Brady. Because, like, look at these pictures. There was totally...
Brady looking good in that photo, though. Dressed
like,
up.
look at that one. Like, there was, like...
You look a little... That's not the same day, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Just friends.
Prayers for Brady.
No, literally. And so it's funny because that was the day where I said, oh my God, I think I like Brady. And then it was a week after this picture that he texted me and told me he asked his girlfriend to be his girlfriend. And I was like, I wrote back and I literally was like, yeah. It was like the week later. That day I realized like, oh, I might actually like be catching feelings. You know what I mean? Like I might like him, but I don't want to cross that bridge because he and I were friends for so long. The part of the reason why I never crossed it with him was because like, once you go over that bridge with your best friend, you'll never be best friends again. And I had a lot of issues with that. Like, I didn't want to ever cross the bridge of, like, we're going to be friends. We won't be, like, normal friends again ever.
Yeah.
I
think...
I chickened out. I totally chickened out. And then when he asked his other girlfriend to be his girlfriend, I remember I totally was, like, so angry. But I was like, okay, just date her. Because he offered to break up with her on the spot. He was like, okay, let's do this. Let's date. Like, I've waited a long time for this. And I remember being like,
That's so funny.
no. Like, just go date her. And he was like, what do you mean just go date her? And then it was literally, so now he jokes that I waited like 2 years for him to break up with her. And then I went back into his life. But it was not that case. It was literally like, it's crazy how it aligned. I broke up with my boyfriend. He broke up with his girlfriend all in a matter of like 2 weeks.
Did you know did he know you broke up with your boyfriend?
No, I texted him
Oh. Before he broke up with his girlfriend.
after.
So he had broken up already.
So
after.
this is where it's even funnier, which is really funny. So I was at Peabody's with my sister and my best friend Brooke
favorite bar
on
in Plattsburgh. Rest
Thanksgiving
in peace.
Eve.
Oh.
And
Favorite night of the year,
everybody
favorite
was
bar.
out. Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody was out. And I
what year was
remember that was 4 years ago.
Oh no. I was
So this is where it's really funny though. So his girlfriend, she's a little bit of a crazy person. So that's why they broke up.
Fair.
But I remember walking through Peabody's and seeing her. And she was underage. And I remember looking at her like, where's Brady? Because she did not want Brady and I to be friends, which I get it. Because like,
Was she dating Brady at the time?
so that's what I was suspicious of. So that whole night, meanwhile, I'm drinking, getting my fun on, like living my life.
Listening to Rihanna.
I was like watching his ex-girlfriend because I was trying to figure out, is he here? Is he around here? Because I wanted to see him. But also I was just trying to figure out if they were together. She never had him with her. So then all of a sudden I overheard her tell one of the other guys I went to high school with that, oh yeah, they broke up. He broke up with her like a week ago, yada, yada, yada. And she was like devastated. So I remember I went home that night with my friend Brandon and my sister. We got home. Everybody went to bed at my house and I went upstairs and I texted Brady and I said, hey, are you okay? Because I at that point knew they broke up. He thought I was one of his ex-girlfriend's friends and he left my ass on red. And I woke
your
up.
Cell number?
No, she made him delete it. She made him block me on like everything. So we had just started following each other again, yada, yada, yada. And so Thanksgiving, I wake up the next morning, I get ready. I'm at my family's Thanksgiving and I post this photo. This is so funny. So I post this photo of my cousin Ella and I. And he had just left me on red, mind you.
That's so funny.
And he liked this picture of me. And I remember being like, so you're going to leave me unread and then like my photos? So the photo liking, though, that was my confirmation that they did break up because she would never let him like my pictures. And she like had him on a leash, like a chained leash on his neck.
Shot collar.
And a shot collar, literally. So I was like, okay, so they're totally broken up, whatever. And it's this photo. So he liked that picture of me. Mm-hmm. And then I texted him again. I said, what the F? You're just going to do me like that and just not answer? Because at this point, I was just like, what is your problem? And he's like, I'm sorry, but who is this? And when I said it was Anna, he immediately started texting me back in like under 3 seconds. And then from that text on, we never stopped talking for like a solid month. And
till today, like now.
Yeah, now I
present
ignore
day.
his texts because, you know, I'm just so comfortable.
You leave him on red now. Payback.
Yeah. So that's literally how we got together. I like stalked the situation. And then from the point though that we started talking again, we were like thick as thieves. We were only friends for a solid like month and a half before we even like crossed the bridge of like having the talk. Like, do we want to date? Do we want to try this out? I had met some of his friends, which is even funnier. I had gone to stay at his apartment and I met some of his friends as just his friend. And it was his friend DeFoo, who was literally like sitting on the couch with us. He was sitting on the couch with us, and at one point he was like, yeah, you guys think you're just friends, but this won't end well for either one or the other, and you're going to end up dating. He was like, I can just tell by the way this is, like, going. And I remember being like, no, like, it is what it is. Like, there were totally, like, attractions and feelings, but, like, no one was going to make a move. And it was, like, 2 weeks after that we had the conversation of, like, so would we be open to dating? Or, like, what happens if we start dating and it doesn't work out? Like, what do we do? And, I mean, we've never broken up since, so it clearly worked out.
Yeah, now you're engaged, so that's kind of good.
Yeah, and you'll be at our wedding in 81 days.
Is that what it is? 81?
Yeah, I was just doing when you texted me, Illuminati, I was doing your wedding invitation envelope. That's why
like my actual one?
Yeah, that's why I was literally that's why I said the sky.
That's
I was
really
literally
creepy.
like, no, it's weird. I only did 7 because I was doing my list and you were on my list and I literally had yours and Gina's in front of me.
No, I randomly texted you. It was 2:08, and I got off my phone call. I was like, "Hey, you coming? Because you're usually never late." I was like, actually thinking she's gonna show up like 10 minutes early. Got to make a call, crap, whatever. Should be fine. And no, I think ours was funny too. So me and Gina, like,
yeah. How did you guys meet? How did that happen?
we met at the gym. The gym. Well, I mean, I would like to still go to. I just don't. Because of kids and work, but it would be once I'm able to go back to.
It was like, CrossFit, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, once I'm able to go like fit the gym time back in my schedule, like to travel to a gym, I'll go back. But that's where we went for many, many, many years. So I met her there randomly. The funniest thing about her is one, she's 6 years older than me.
Yeah.
So there's a big gap. So she showed up. I had known her name for years because of soccer. Mm-hmm. Gina Rosenbaum, like I know her. I had no, like, honestly, if you put her here and said, do you know her name? Like, I have no clue what her name is. Like back then.
Yep.
And so it was funny. So she walks in and my friends at the time were trying to get her in. Because like, she's a good athlete. She should come. She's working out at another gym. She finally came over. And I remember, and I've told her this since, but I remember seeing her walk in the first time, and it wasn't love at first sight. Like, it wasn't like, and that's fine. Like, she definitely wasn't the same with me. But I remember her walking in, and I kind of looked at her, and my initial thought was, oh, that's what she looks like. Like, I've just never met her before. And then I actually said in my head, she's actually cuter than I thought she would be, because I was thinking, like, college soccer player, like this,
like this big buff.
Yeah, like this, like, over the top, crazy athletic, like not as attractive girl as I probably would have imagined in my head. So I remember thinking like, oh, she's like actually kind of cute. Like, but she was older than me too. So like, because at the time I was like 20, probably 24-ish, 24, I think. And I remember, and she was 30. She's basically my age. And I remember looking at her. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I probably had said, I didn't see her much from like, that was like in the springtime. It's probably around this time of the year. I didn't talk to her like at all. She was like, we would go to the gym, but we really weren't in the same like times. She would go at different times. And I'll be honest, like at no point, I was dating another girl. At no point was I like even remotely interested in her. And we started going to her house, me and some friends, because we didn't have a TV or we didn't have the football package or whatever that fall. Same year. So this is 2014. So we started going over in like September. So we go over for Sunday football. We get wings, pizza, whatever. We go eat. Still have a girlfriend, not like just chilling. We're just
what is it, like platonic? Like just what? Isn't that what you say? It's like totally platonic.
I have no clue. Like I was never going over being like gonna try to get with this girl.
I like her.
So then we started like hanging out.
Catching feels.
Yeah, so we were hanging out. And I remember probably, oh God, I'm bad with this stuff. I think that football September, so probably September, probably like around October, November. I kept like giving her jabs of like, I don't even know what came up. It wasn't like I was interested in you, but I think she was always like
flirting.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Laying it hard. But it was kind of the flirting where she was kind of saying like...
And you were single or not yet?
I wasn't yet, but it was like...
that's so funny.
It was one of those where like...
It's like you knew, but you didn't know.
Well, it was kind of one, like the girl was dating, very nice girl, but it was just like I knew it was not going to like...
Yeah,
it really
wasn't serious.
No, it was like we were dating, but it wasn't like something I was like, this is going to be a long-term thing. So I ended up... Whatever, so we were hanging out. So I remember I started saying something to her about like her age, but like... Because she kept saying... No, not in a bad way, but she kept saying like I'm looking... Like she didn't have a boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. She had dated... I mean, she had boyfriends in the past, but she had been a couple... I think a couple years since she had a serious boyfriend. So I was like... I remember we were kind of like giving her shit like about her being old. And then something about like, oh, would you date like older guys or younger guys? And it came up. I don't even think I brought it up. I think someone else did. She goes, yeah, probably older. I don't know if I'd go younger. And I was giving her shit. I'm like, oh, you want like someone in their 20s? Like making fun of her because we were in our 20s at the time. And I was the youngest of the group we were with. So like most of them between. She was like the oldest and was in between.
That's so funny.
So we kind of just started giving her shit. So one day we went over. I drove separate, not on purpose. I was coming from something or whatever. And I think I had gotten a new computer. And we were over there watching football. So I had to, the football game was getting done. And I still remember this. So I was trying to update something on my computer because it was new. I honestly think I was putting like Microsoft Office on my computer. So I was at her house, like on my computer. We were watching the game. The game's kind of finishing up. And I'm just getting this thing rebooted. I'm like, let me just download this. You know, we got a half. And the download was like a long time. Like longer than I expected. I thought it was going to be a quick like 5-minute thing. It wasn't. It was like an hour and a half or whatever the thing was. So game ends. Buddy, his girlfriend end up heading home. So I'm sitting there. Gina's there. I'm sitting with Gina. And not like, I'm still like sitting there waiting for this thing to like buffer. So I'm like, hey,
and
sorry.
You didn't even know your romance was blocked.
So I'm sitting there thinking like in my head, I'm like, my bad. Like if I leave, I'm off Wi-Fi. It's going to stop. I got to redo it. I don't want to.
This.
So I'm literally just like totally my life. I'm like, I said, you mind if I just sit here and let this thing freaking like buffer up? Technology's not great for me. So I was like, yeah, no problem. So we start shooting the shit. And I think it might have been like the first half. They left at halftime. So the game was still on. So we're just watching the game.
Cute,
so I'm like sitting there waiting for my computer to buffer. And the funny thing was she was already living in the house that like I moved in. Like we sold the house together. She already had the house. So like, oh yeah. So like the house that she was at the time is the same house we got married.
Wait, so she owned her house?
Yeah. So
she was a boss.
Well, she was 30. I mean, you got to think like she was 30 years old. I was 24.
Yeah.
So it's same house we got married in, same house we had our kid in, same house and then we sold it 2 years ago. Yeah, so it was kind of crazy.
That's
like we were
so
still
funny.
Different couch. We had bought a different couch once we were together, but so I remember sitting there, whatever, doing the whole thing. I remember just like shooting the shit with her, and it wasn't like flirty, but it was just kind of chit chatting and shooting the shit and talking about stuff, and I don't even know what we were talking about, to be honest. And I remember like I finally left. All right, thanks. Computer's done. Popped the computer thing. Went back. So I remember I don't know if she...
Did she slide into your DMs?
No. This was before DMs. So this was soon after Instagram became a thing. I don't even know if she was on Instagram, to be honest. Like, she's not the most social. She's on Facebook, but she's not like... She's on Instagram. She honestly like doesn't really check it.
So who wheeled who?
So I always say that I put the legwork in of like dropping like hints during that time. But I got back and... I remember like getting home, getting ready, going to bed or whatever, and I get a text, and I look at the text, and it was from her, and so she ended up saying something along the lines of, Well, maybe something basically about maybe I would date younger guys. It was like, but she kind of like
No
she didn't,
way.
She didn't say it like
my
verbatim.
God.
She kind of was like
so
using
she
it.
was into it.
She was kind of using it loosely. So I was like, I kind of gave her a couple shots back, and it was just like playful, like flirty stuff. I remember sending that, and I kid you not, up until that text, I had never ever even thought she was remotely interested. So this is my thing. I'm like, whatever.
That is so funny.
So she ended up saying that.
I
That was the
love
first
it.
time. It was almost like I was like knocking on
were,
the door.
panicking,
I was like, no, it was almost like I was like knocking on the door, and she finally just like pulled it back a little. I was like, oh, like I got my foot in the door.
Yeah.
So that was she ended up doing that, and that was probably like November, something like that. And we ended up hanging out. But would you say the night before Thanksgiving, because we ended up going out. The like a group of friends. So she like met us out. Her friends were out, whatever. And one of her friends, still one of her best friends today, literally saw her like a couple weeks ago. It's great, like just like lifelong friend of hers, whatever. I remember she like came up. We're at Ridley's, and she like. I was like against the back wall. You know what the stage is at Ridley's?
Yeah.
I was like against the back wall, talking to somebody, having a drink, whatever. And like, so she comes up and like puts her hand on the wall because she's obviously been like pretty hammered at this point. She like leans in and she starts like, so like Jean, and she starts like talking to me about her. It was so funny, and even to this day we like laugh about it. But she like was like, oh, like she was like pressuring me hardcore, like ultimate.
Do you call her Jean?
Gina? Yeah, Jean.
I love the name Jean. My grandma's name is Jean.
Linda Jean. Co. So I call
shout out to Gina.
Well,
Love your
I have
name,
like
girl.
I have like a nickname for her, but then like if I was to call her like in person, I call her Jean. I very rarely call her
I
Gina.
love the name Jean. Oh,
But
so cute.
It's
Continue.
like Jean, like DNA Jean, Gene.
Yeah, because her name's Gina.
Yeah, so it's not like
I get that.
Jean, but
Yeah.
yeah. So Jean.
So Ridley's.
So we go out to all really. We're just out like normal. We go to. I think we went to Jeffrey's Pub, which our normal thing was like Jeffrey's Pub, Peabody's, and Ridley's. So we go to Ridley's because her friends were at Ridley's. So we met up with them, and I might have met up with her there. I don't know, whatever. So Gina like doesn't drink. Like very rarely does she drink. I've seen her drunk twice in my life, and they're both the week of our wedding. So you put it in perspective.
Good
We've been
for her,
together. We've been together like 7 years.
Yeah,
she, like,
that's awesome.
She doesn't really drink. So I don't even know.
Will she drink at my wedding because it's a national holiday?
Chances are probably not.
Oh, come
She
on,
might.
girl.
She might have like a drink, like
Yeah.
a drink or a sip of my drink, but she won't really drink. So I will. Don't worry. I'll make up for her. But so she ends up going, and we hang out, and her friend was like definitely wing womaning it, and then
I love it. The energy.
The ultimate time that I knew she was definitely interested, because we had been texting and like whatever, and not really hanging out besides on Sundays. Flirting. I wasn't really going over and seeing.
So are you single now or no?
No. Not good. Not good. Probably shouldn't tell my kids this. I've actually
funny.
like never. I was good. I like
Honestly,
never.
who cares though? It happens.
I never.
When you know,
no, but like in my life, like I'm like never like that was like the closest I came where I was just kind of I knew the other one was fizzing out, and it wasn't like we were really that close. It was kind of like almost like any date kind of thing, and it wasn't like a bad. Wasn't like
yeah,
was
it's
upset
just
at the girl.
there
I just was like
wasn't that big of a connection.
yeah, I'm like it's like not gonna happen. So Gina, whatever, talking to her, and she ended up. I don't know what happened, but I knew she ended up leaving to bring her friends back home. Now, again, if you know Gina's either A, not going out, or B, like the first one to leave and like get out of there. She wants to go to bed in her own bed. She dropped them off, came back. And of course, me, oblivious like to any of this. Now knowing her, I'm like it's still the point. Like, how did you even come back? Because like you never would. Now you would never. You'd be like, dude, get up. I don't.
So
care.
now you
Walk
look back and you're like, now I know why you came back.
Yeah, exactly. So, but she did that, and I was like, she's like, yeah, I'll come back, and I was like, oh, cool, like awesome. You're gonna like I didn't want to see you leave so early, but that's great, like whatever. And like normally oblivious, like this is something normal she would do. Drops off her friends, and like they know she's not like usually that kind of person. So she comes back. We hang out. I think it was like Ridley's. Might have went to Peabody's. I don't know, something like that. Went back to our apartment. We stayed up so we probably got back. Bars closed like 2, whatever. Probably got back to our apartment like 2:15, something like that. Her and I talked in the living room.
Oh my God.
I remember she was sitting like on a chair. I was on the couch. Like not many. Like we're way closer than we were. She was probably like on the, like where my couch is over there, and I was here. Like I mean, a fairly good distance away.
Yeah.
Just talking. So she got up to leave. I was like, okay. And as she's walking out the door, and I'm like, all right, goodbye. And I don't even know if like we hugged. I don't even think it was that. I think it was literally like, okay, well, nice talking to you, whatever. Oh, like her phone started going off. I was like, what's that? She looked in her pocket. She goes, oh, that's my alarm. It was 6:30 in the morning. So we had gotten back like 2:30. We had talked till like 6:30 in the morning. She literally left at the time when she would normally wake up. So we hadn't gone to bed. We stayed up all night talking. So she ended up leaving. I was like, she stayed up. She like went home, slept like an hour, 2 hours, went like to her grandparents' house for breakfast or something. Me, went to bed, passed out to like noon. I was exhausted. I wasn't really like drunk. I was just really tired. It was like I stayed up all night. And
that's kind of cute though.
And then then we ended up dating. We started dating like a few weeks later, like officially like few weeks later. I actually moved in pretty quick with her, probably within 2 months. I like moved into her house.
Yeah, Brady and I were the same.
Yeah, and then it was like, and I think I met her mom. No, I met her parents before Christmas, but I ended up going to Florida like with her like and staying with them for like 2 months, 3 months later. And then we literally been together ever since.
Yeah.
So like we're going to Florida next week, and it's I mean we've been doing it for 7 years.
Except
now.
Was it one of those things where you weren't like, oh my god, like I'm so obsessed? It was kind of just like an easy. You knew like, oh, we're the real deals sort of thing.
So
you weren't like obsessively like, oh my god. You know what
I don't know if this is it for everybody. I've dated I've dated like 20 people, but I've dated a few people in my life. Like so. Yeah. At no point, you obviously like are attracted to the person, whatever. Mm-hmm. At no point did I ever date anybody in my life where I had the feeling that I had for Gina in like a weird gut feeling. Yeah. So like when I remember when I started dating her, like early on, I'm like, I'm getting like weird gut feelings about this person that I haven't ever experienced in my life. Yes. And I'm one of those people that like in your head. Like I just let things go with the flow. So I don't force anything. Yeah. So I'm like, whatever, we'll see this girl, date her, see where it goes, whatever. And it was like pretty quick off that I was like, man, this is just feels different. And
did you say you loved her first, or did she say it to you first?
I probably said it. I don't know. I don't even remember. I don't remember her first.
Do you know I said it to Brady first? Isn't that so embarrassing?
My guess is I would have said it because I can't see Gina ever saying it.
But she said it back, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I
don't know.
Courage.
I don't remember.
I would never, ever do that in my life, and I did it first, and Brady never lets me, like, forget it.
I don't remember. If you take, like, first anything of us, I don't remember. Like, you name any milestone.
So you don't remember, like, your first kiss or anything?
Nope.
That's so funny. Our first kiss, he kissed me, and he apologized and told me he shouldn't have done it.
Wow.
I remember being like, you're a jerk. But it was because I got, like, awkwardly
too bad he wasn't
tense.
Like... I guess some
like
bad
he
breath.
went in for it, he kissed me, and then he was literally like, sorry, I probably shouldn't have done that. And I literally was like, no, it's okay, like I'm fine.
Yeah, I don't remember a first date.
That's so
funny. I remember like early on dates.
Yeah.
Like I remember like, oh, we went there like a couple months or a month into dating, but first date, don't remember. Because I think it was different. I had met her earlier in the year. Mm-hmm. So we started dating within the year of meeting, but it wasn't like, I mean, I didn't
like
really start,
hot and heavy. It was like casual and fun.
I didn't start hanging out with her until probably 6 or 7 months after I had met her. And it wasn't like, oh, like I'm going to.
That's so cute though.
It wasn't a blind date.
I kind of love it.
Well, it wasn't a blind date. It wasn't like, let's go out. It was like, so my thing is every girl that I've dated, I've known before, if that makes sense. Yeah. I'm not one where if you're like blind date, go date that person, like turn it into something. I know people can. I've just never done that. I've always dated people that I kind of knew prior, and then I kind of started to like them, and then I felt they kind of liked me, and then it was kind of like you and Brady. Like you guys knew each other. It wasn't like you were.
I've only had so I've dated 4 people over the course of my like seriously dated. One was like casually dating, but like serious enough that like I wasn't dating others. I didn't know him, so I dated one of my sister's friends. She introduced us, and I knew that wasn't going to last. So that was kind of like you and your girlfriend before Gina. Mm-hmm. So he and I were like fizzing out, and it was Brady that I kind of like really stuck. Like I finally was like, okay, like this isn't going to go anywhere because I'm not moving to North Carolina with you. He was in the Army. Mm-hmm. And I remember my sister was so excited when I finally was like, okay, I'm not going to see him anymore. But it was literally, he was like teetering. I had talked to him the night I was stalking Brady's ex-girlfriend. So it was literally like a 24-hour roundabout of like, okay,
Oh,
this is officially over. And I told him. So when I finally cut ties.
The North Carolina guy?
Yes.
Okay.
So when I finally cut the ties with him, I literally verbalized to him like, yeah, we weren't working out anyways. Because we were already technically like on a break, just like not together, but like in contact talking all the time. And I remember it was after Brady and I started talking. We had only been talking like 3 days. And I finally said to my ex-boyfriend, I was like, listen, I ran into a high school friend. Like, I think it's going to turn into something and I can't be caught up in something like this while I'm doing that. And he literally was like, so you're just going to go talk to this guy and not know if it's going to work out? And I was like, yeah, pretty much, because we're not working out anyways. So that was like our last conversation. He was not happy, but then he was like happy when I got engaged. He like texted me and he was like, oh, I'm so happy for you, blah, blah, blah. So it was like a completely like fizzed out.
What?
It wasn't like a, oh my God, devastating breakup. It was needed and it was necessary and we knew it was coming. But it was just a matter of like, all of a sudden I literally was like all in on Brady and I didn't even know if like Brady and I were going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird too. Like all my ex-girlfriends, like most of them, honestly, follow them on social media.
Yeah, I follow all my ex-boyfriends.
They have kids. They're married. I like their photos. It's not.
Yeah.
And I have like zero animosity to any of them.
Yeah,
It's just
and
like.
Honestly,
I never got pissed at any
the
of
way
them.
I see it is a lot of my friends are always like, oh my God, I can't believe like you still like associate or like their pictures or like that sort. Or if I see them out, I'm always like, hey, how are you? No matter how bad a breakup can be in my brain, the way I look back at it, I feel like when you're really over a relationship like that, it's kind of like whatever, because they were there for like cool things in your life. They were a part of your life. That's why I'm always like, I wish the best for them. I'm happy for them when they're happy. I'd be so happy for them if they got engaged. Like, it's one of those things where I feel like that's when I knew I was 100% over them, was when I literally was like, okay, so we're not together. I don't talk to you all the time, but I'm cheering for you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's where I'm like, I feel like my ex-boyfriend, one of them is local here, I think. I don't know, actually. A roundabout, but like if I see him, I'm always like, hey, what's up? It's not like a weirdness.
Only one that I know of is here, and like sold them both a house a couple times, and like honestly, like her husband I've talked to multiple times on the phone about
that's
work stuff.
actually so cool.
Yeah, I mean it's just like, but she was like a girl. She was my first like, maybe my first, I don't know,
Like real girlfriend.
definitely first real girlfriend. Yeah, and she awesome girl, like great, like good memories. Like knew her family. Her brother's one of my best friends. Like it was just one. Like went to Shazy, awesome, great. I mean, the guy she married, fantastic guy. Like really cool. They had a kid together. Like cool dude too. Like just,
I love that they bought a house from you though.
Yeah, multiple times, and like, but like to the point,
That's
like
so cool.
I literally talked to him like a month or two ago about a job switch he was doing, because he asked me my opinion about stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I was on the phone, a while, and it was but good stuff. It was like you still, at the end of the day, it's like it's totally different. So you don't have the same feel. Like you have memories of the person, like good, and like all the memories you have of the person are all good things. Like you said, oh, I remember that trip we went on, blah blah blah. But it's not like,
or like this experience of like.
But I'd have to like dig deep into it. It's not like I'm like dwelling on these things. If you're
you
like,
can't, because it also doesn't really matter.
No, and like my thing is, if one of them was like, oh, do you remember that time? Like, oh my god, I totally forgot about that. But yeah, that actually was really fun. And then once you get to like Gina, like then you look at, we've been together 7 years.
Yeah, you guys have been together a while.
Which sounds crazy, but like when you go through it, like I was just looking at the photos, I'm like, it doesn't seem that long ago. I'm like, holy crap! And now we have 3 kids. I'm like, oh my god. So we ended up starting the date basically as it was like 2014 going into 15. If you would have told me at the start of 2021, which is 6 years later, we would have had 3 kids. Like married with 3 kids, I would have been like, you're nuts. But it's wild. Like
that's kind of the cool thing about the North Country is though, like you still are forced to kind of see the people from your past. You know what I mean? You'll run into them at the Pepper. You'll run into them at the grocery store.
Yeah. And
you'll run into your ex's family at the grocery store. You'll run into their grandparents. Like, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you hit a point where you're just like, like if Brady saw his ex-girlfriend, we've actually conversed about it. Their breakup was messy. And like he said, if I saw her out and about, I'd say, hi, how are you? Because it's like one of those things where you wouldn't wish ill will, but like, when I feel like you just kind of look past it at that point and you're like, we're all members of this community.
Yeah.
We all have to get along. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
and it's one thing when you meet the person you're going to like spend your life with, I feel like it's different because you automatically are like, I wouldn't care if he said hi to his ex-girlfriend or like caught up with her. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm comfortable enough where I'd be like, it's cool.
She says all the time, she's like, oh, my ex-boyfriend texted me about X
it's
or whatever.
cool,
or
whatever.
Yeah, and I'm like, or like, wish me happy birthday, or he
Yeah.
told me this or whatever. His grandma just passed, and I've never met the guy, but I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, and
or like if she wanted to go to the funeral, where you'd be like, oh, well, I'm really sorry, whatever. You know what I mean?
I don't care.
You knew him. You went to family dinners at his house. Go for it.
There's definitely. Out of all, I would go to a few of the parents / funerals if they, obviously when they pass, hopefully never soon, but.
Which it's kind of the same for you though. It's like the community. You grew up together.
Yeah,
you know
and just your friends or you knew them personally, whatever. So I mean, that's
my
never.
sister's friend that she introduced me to, I wouldn't do it with him, obviously, because like we weren't on that level of like, I'd be like, oh my God, his mom died. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd be like, that
it's
sucks.
like, yeah, it sucks. I'd say
You
to
might,
him,
like,
like,
leave a Facebook
I would
message or
text
something,
him.
or
I would
text
text him
yeah.
and say, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm thinking of you. But I wouldn't be like, they're also out of state. I wouldn't be like, let me get on a plane and fly down to Virginia.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's the people in this community that I feel like you, even no matter how hard the breakup is, you still eventually have to get to a point where you're like, okay, seeing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean.
And rooting for them.
Most of them, like, it sucks for like a couple weeks or a month or 2 months, depending.
Yeah.
Like, but it's not like none of them are really that bad. It's just kind of, and then you kind of look back and like, it probably wasn't good. Like, it was
you know
fun.
What's funny? Brady always tells me he forgets that we dated other people. Because we have high school memories, obviously. So he's always like, it's so funny though that we had like others mixed in between us. Because he's like, I like think of it now where I'm like, I've been together with this girl for like ever.
Yeah.
And he says the rest of it is literally, he always jokes. He's like, honestly, they just don't exist because I don't even like, it's not even like on my radar anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say it's the same.
Like, I'm sure you and Gina never are like, oh, remember that time I dated so-and-so?
No, like, I don't even talk about it. Like,
yeah,
it's just not
they're
that
your friends now.
Well,
Mutual friends.
Yeah, but it's just stuff you don't even think about anymore.
Yeah.
Like, even if you saw him, she'd be like, oh, who's that? I'm like, oh, that's so-and-so. And like, I don't even know if I would say it and be like, oh,
Like,
actually, I dated
them when I was in 9th grade.
Yeah, and like, I don't, I mean, that's never bothered me. And it's, but I mean, then you get to the point now where it's like, when you're with someone for, like, you go from like dating is like a weird thing. When you're, like, I've been out of the dating scene for sounds dumb to say that. Like, 7 years now, something like that. So like, my game is like shot. So I'm like kind of one where you got your wife and like you're just comfortable with them, and then like in a good way, meaning like, because the thing is, I was like telling you before, like what I was texting my wife, like before, it's like,
yes,
you're talking like 7 years from now and nothing's like changed. So that's when you know it's like, because when you date people, it's like it goes a year or two and you kind of lose interest and you move on. And I find if you're with someone like spouse wise, you know, if you're like, I would say at like 6 years into it, like we're comfortable with each other and we still joke around. Like, it's tough because every day with the kids and there's good days and bad days and frustrations, but like we never really fight. We never really like,
you don't have time to.
Yeah. Like, do we fight? Have we yelled at each other and stuff? 100%. We're human, but like it's very quickly rectified after. Like, you lose your temper, you cool off for, 10, 15, 20 minutes, half hour, and then you go and like, give her a hug and sorry or whatever, or whoever was. And most of the time you both say sorry because you're both that like, being jerks. But I think at a certain point you just get so comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
But you're
definitely.
And the thing is, there's definitely similarities, but there's I have more similarities with certain people. Yeah. More so than her. But like when they talk about opposites attract, like we have some similarities, just some stuff that are totally different. Like some stuff I don't even talk to her about, not in a bad way. It's just, it's probably not something she wants to talk about. Like, like if I'm talking like work, I don't talk a lot about work with her.
Yeah, no, Brady and I are the same way.
Yeah, but like
Brady oftentimes is like, I don't mean it. Like sometimes when he gets into it, he'll say to me, he'll be like, I don't mean it meanly, but like it's not even worth me explaining because you don't know the county rules. Like it's like another language.
Like I talk to those girls a lot. I talk to some guy friends, some girlfriends about business. Like I would talk to you more about work, I think, than Gina, and it has nothing to do with. It's just like that's not something we talk about, but it's like we would talk. But
you also go home, and the good thing about going home is you don't have to talk about work.
Yeah, so I try to separate.
That's like the gift.
There's sometimes I'll go off, but like I really try hard to separate. Work stuff from business stuff, or work stuff from family stuff. Yep. And then. And it's tough because my mind's like constantly like I'm always thinking like work. Did I miss something? Did I do something? Like kind of I was actually saying today like if something bad happens, I'm always like a playbook. I almost like go back and like I'm watching film.
Yeah, like sounds crazy, what could you have done different?
But like I look at the scenario, I'm like, is there anything I could have done? Could we have done something better? And I don't do it. Very rarely do I get mad at people. I don't get really mad at people, to be honest. In business, I don't really care. Like it's one like if you don't like me, whatever, it is what it is. It's like I'm not trying to be a bad person. I'm big on intent. So if my intent was malicious, I get it. I truly believe everything I'm doing I can live with. Meaning I don't think it's bad. And somebody else might completely say the wrong thing, like, "Oh, you scumbag." I'm like, "Whoa, no, that's not what I was trying to do or go for." But whatever, I don't care. And not that I don't care their opinion. I'm just saying I can live with myself. Like I'm not gonna. I don't feel like I did something like morally or ethically wrong. But I really try to separate the two. So when I go home, I'm not thinking about business. I mean, I am, but I'm not trying. Like I'm trying.
How can you with a cute little baby like Oakland?
You're like caught up on Oakland.
I love her.
I mean, I got 3, but like you're always like commenting on Oakland. She's a mess. I love her, but she is a mess.
I don't know why, but something about her radiates. Like I love her.
If I just brought
Can you just bring her here one day when I'm podcasting so I can at least hang out with her?
She's cute. Adorable. I love her.
I just think she's so funny. And the videos you've sent me of her, I'm just like, that girl is my spirit.
She has
like my spirit animal.
She's got like long hair, which you put in
pigtails. She has like a contagious smile though too.
She's got a smile. She very like
grins with her mouth.
Yeah, so her eyes are dark brown. She got from her mother.
I'm looking her up right now.
And they're kind of like I don't even know if they're really squinty because Gina's got squinty eyes, but they're not that squinty. She's got such deep brown eyes like Gina that just her eye. She got dark features, and she's tan like Gina. So she
looks like Gina.
She's a mini Gina, which is great because
But I think Crew looks like you.
Crew looks like me.
Yeah.
He looks like Gina, or she looks like Gina. Penn's too young to really figure out. To be honest, he's starting to look a lot like Crew. So if the boys look like me and the girl looks like Gina, I'll be happy.
Crew always has the best haircut.
Crew cut. Yeah, it's good.
Like this the other day when I saw that, I was
picking her nose. That's her to a T. She's so cute. I love her.
She's so funny. Like this smile.
That's it. The cheese.
God.
Because she's got like, she had to get her lip. Like, so kids, they have like that upper lip and bottom lip, that little skin. So you basically can take it off because what was happening when she was breastfeeding was hard for her because she was like, she couldn't open her lips up as much.
Yeah. Don't they like clip that actually?
It was like a laser. They can clip it when they're a baby, but I think at a certain age you have to go and do like a laser, which is not bad. It leaves like a little.
I love her.
She's so cute. So she,
she's just so happy.
So they ended up opening that up. So sometimes when she smiles, you like can't, because her teeth aren't that big, so you can't see her top teeth that well. So like when I'm brushing her teeth at night, so that's how I was doing her face there. So I was like, okay, I'll do that face. So her bottom teeth are easy. So I usually brush the kids' teeth at night. So I'm like trying to brush her top teeth, and you can never see it because then we floss too. So we brush and floss.
Oh my God, she flosses.
Both brush and floss, which is basically
that
me
it's me taking
funny. Like a little floss thing.
Can you take a video? I want to watch.
And I just go like, I basically just go up into between the teeth. I'm just getting them used to like the idea of flossing, so I'm not freaked out by it.
I just added Gina as a friend so I can see more Oakland.
Oh yeah, you get a bunch. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So she ends up
like this is you.
Yeah.
Shrunken down to a toddler.
There's one photo I posted. We were both wearing like Irish stuff, like St. Patrick's Day stuff, side by side, and we look like the same kid. It is so funny. I'll bring it up while we're talking, but
I'm looking it up right now.
So go to my personal Instagram, the one I think you now follow.
Where is it? But see, in this picture, Crew and Oakland both look like Gina.
Okay, so if you go, is that mine?
Yes, this one's yours.
Okay, so go back side by side.
Is it this one?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Isn't that creepy?
You have the same face. That is kind of creepy.
So that's me, 1992.
Oh my God.
So he's smiling a little bit more, but like...
However, I'm distracted by this.
I know, Bebs. Yeah, she's so chunky. Love her. She's so chunky.
Except I'm also a little offended I wasn't at your wedding. Like, what?
Oh, Florida? I know. So that's where we're going back. So actually, that place right there, we've been together, when was that wedding?
I'll forgive you because I didn't know you.
True. 14. So we got married in Florida in April.
Yeah.
And then we had a big like party up here in July. So we only had like maybe 30 people down in Florida.
Yeah.
And we invited probably 35. And we probably say we had, I don't know, maybe 40. Maybe we invited 40. We had like 25 that went. And so the place that we got, so Gina always wanted to get married on the beach. I didn't really care. Whatever. It's a girl thing. Like, I'm wherever you want to go. Mm-hmm. So the beach was dope. Great day. Beautiful. we were thinking about doing a destination wedding, and then we thought, well,
you basically did.
we did, but both our parents had a place in Florida, in the same place, Naples, and that's actually a funny story. When she asked me where my sister had moved down my sister had moved down to Florida months, like probably 6 months before I started dating Gina. So I remember meeting with her. I'm like, oh, my sister lives in Florida. Like, oh, we live in Florida. I said, okay, cool. And like, where's your sister live? Me. She's been there for 6 months. I go, I have no clue. I have no clue where she lives in Florida. She lives in Florida. So
That's so funny.
So I text Sagan. I'm like, hey, where do you live in Florida? And she goes, Naples. And I'm like, oh, because they live in Naples. So I'm like, what a small world. Because she could have said Tallahassee. She could have said Miami. She could have said Orlando. She could have said Tampa. She could have said any place in Florida, wherever. And she says Naples, which it's just obviously like.
And Sagan is still there, right?
Still there. So I'm like, no way. So I'm like, oh, she lives in Naples. I'm like, small world. Kind of like Yvonne. So then I'm like, oh, wow, what's your address? So I'm sitting on my computer, and we were at her parents' house, Gina's parents' house. So I start typing in their address and Sagan's address. They were
oh God,
a mile and a half.
That's so
that's
weird.
1 to 2 miles door to door by drive. It was like a 3-minute drive, 5-minute drive, whatever it was. And in Naples, so like when you put them on a map,
it was meant to be.
Well, you know when you put on a map and they're like, oh, they're here and here, and like, you're 45 minutes away. Yeah. That's cool. It was like, and it was like here, 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 and you're there. And that was when you showed me Yvonne's the other day, and I was like,
yeah,
that's the same thing. They're like 8 minutes away. 8 minutes like drive time through lights and stuff. So you're talking 2 miles, maybe 3 miles.
Yeah.
So whatever. So that was kind of cool. So now when we go down, like I see. Like my parents are going down with us because they just go down. So it's like I see my parents, I see my sister, I see my in-laws. We have some friends down
Everybody's
there now.
Everybody's there. And you can pick where you want to stay.
Yeah. So then I stay with Gina because my parents have dogs and I can't, or my sister has dogs. I can't, like allergy-wise, can't stay with them. But so we ended up getting married in Florida, in Naples. It was easy, quick flight down for people. It was still domestic, so we didn't have to do like money and passports and exchange. Got married, beautiful spot. So we got married in 17, so it's been 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 5 years. We got married. First year we went back for our first anniversary. Second year.
You had a baby.
Following year, we were not down there for our anniversary. Last year, 2020, a month before the pandemic. Nope, I lied. Sorry. The month before, so we went wedding. Went down, went to eat there during the pandemic right before. We went down in February. Pandemic was March.
Yeah.
We ate there, but it wasn't on our anniversary. And then this year we're going to go back to the same place on our anniversary. So we try to go we've been in Naples
That's so cute.
like for our anniversary like 4 to 5 years.
And Naples is beautiful. So
absolutely gorgeous.
It's awesome.
So we try to go back to the same place to have dinner because all outside
so
on the beach.
Neat.
So it'd be like here.
I love it.
It'd be like here, beach, water's the parking lot right here. Like this, like that parking lot right there, like very close. So we'll sit there and eat because you're down on the beach and it's nice.
Yeah.
But that's where we got married. But every year we are in Naples, so we try to go back to the same place because actually really good food.
Yep.
So we try to go and have a nice meal there, just her and I. So we're gonna try. We should be fine depending how the little one is, but we'll be able to try to go without the kids. But we might have to take the little one. Just because of
cool.
feeding purposes. But
I love that.
Yeah. And then we came up and had the big shindig up here, which is fun.
Okay, so why don't I give you a plus additional one so Oakland can come my wedding?
I would lose her on the dance floor.
Just bring her. I love her.
I would lose her somewhere. She's so messy.
I don't know why she just...
Do you have a cake? Because she's going to smash that cake.
So actually, that's funny. I have a small cake for Brady and I to do the cake cutting pictures. Mm-hmm. But then we're doing cupcakes because I went to a wedding and they had miniature cupcakes and it was genius because while you're drinking and stuff, being able to just shove a cupcake in your mouth, that's great. And then I thought, so our families are big party families. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't want to take time to cut a huge sheet pan cake and wait for everybody to get a piece of cake. I want to have a dessert table and that's it. So obviously my mom and I love France. So we have macarons. So
macarons or macaroons?
Macarons. Macarons are from.
Are those different than macaroons?
Yes.
Okay.
Macaroons are different than macarons. I have macarons. And so we're having a dessert table of miniature cupcakes for people to just be, and because COVID, I thought that's smarter because then no one's touching anything. Mm-hmm. You could just grab your cupcake and move on your way. So miniature cupcakes, macarons, and then Brady and I have like a little cake to do the cake cutting pictures. And then obviously we can eat that cake because that's the only gluten-free option minus the macarons. Macarons are made with almond flour, so those are gluten-free. Just so you know.
Do we have to get COVID tested before?
Not if you're vaccinated, which you're eligible to get the vaccine. You should just go get it.
When I can't.
Today.
I had it. I have to wait 3 months.
What do you mean?
I think if you have COVID, you have to wait 3 months before.
I don't think so.
Is that new? Because everybody's told me you have to wait 3 months.
No, the reason they're telling you that is because you're going to get symptoms. I'm pretty sure. Let me Google this.
So, yeah, because now it's 30 and above, so I can go.
No, do you know how that there's no way that's possible? Haven't you heard of the people getting the first dose testing positive and then they still get their second dose?
No.
Yeah. So I know 3 people, I don't know them personally. They got their first shot. There was a COVID outbreak at the place where they worked. And then they were sick for 2 weeks. 2 of them missed their second COVID shot because they were under quarantine from having COVID, testing positive. And they got their second shot a week later than they were supposed to, but they still got their shot because they were supposed to get the shot.
I'll have to check it then.
I
can call the health department because
you're eligible now. I know that.
Yes, I'm eligible to get it, but it depends. I was told if you're supposed to wait 90 days because you have a natural antibody.
So maybe, but you can get a rapid test.
As
of right now, everybody that steps onto site at our wedding, they have to either be vaccinated or take a rapid test.
When is your wedding?
June 19th.
I'd be cutting it close. For the second shot.
Okay, so here. Not sure how long you have to... I'm looking at the New York State website. See, right here. It's a commonly asked question. Except I can't find it. There's so many COVID things.
Well, that was one of the problems.
The good thing is the COVID tests are supposed to be down to like $15 by that point. That's what I saw on TV the other day.
Well,
we're actually my wedding planner, Annika at Assorted Artistries.
Annika,
you met
shout
her.
out. Yep.
She
multiple times. You told me.
Yeah, she is actually going to. She told me she has the capability of getting the bulk tests so that when people arrive on site for the wedding, because we're lucky because our wedding ceremony and our venue is the same spot, so you're never leaving after that. Once you're there, you're there. She found a cheap flat rate way for us to bulk purchase our tests for COVID and everything for the people who are traveling and have to get rapid tests because they're coming from Florida. Brady has a lot of friends from Florida, and most of them will be vaccinated now that the eligibility opened up. But it's literally, we're going to be able to buy the rapid test for the people who arrive. So you can take the test, sit in your car for 15 minutes. And then once you pass, you just come in.
Oh, nice.
But it's literally going to be a fiasco because everybody has to be written down. There's like a file so that if we had like an outbreak, which is unlikely because literally 98% of our people will be vaccinated. We have
Do you have to wear masks the whole time?
So that's the thing that's currently under discussion. As far as we've been told, when you're dancing, you have to wear the mask, but when you're eating, you take your mask off at your table. So when you're in your bubble,
same as bar rules. Or
yeah, it's
food
kind
rules.
of the same thing. People have been looser with them, and I mean, it's as of April 3rd, it's subject to change. So that could all change because people being vaccinated now, they're being told they can go in a house and not wear a mask.
Does Phil smoke cigars?
I don't think he does. He might with you though, because
I'm definitely bringing
you're
cigars.
Galen.
I'm definitely bringing cigars.
Well, I know a lot of Brady's friends. They smoke cigars.
I might bring a whole plethora of them.
I bet my cousin Ethan that you just talked to the other day, he'd smoke a cigar.
Like my thing is, if it's down by the lake, and we're just chilling. Like I want to just go sit on a dock.
When
I just
you do your podcast with Yvonne, and
are you coming to that?
I can if you want me to.
You might as well.
She's great. You're gonna love her.
She sounds like a riot. I can't wait.
She's so funny.
I talked to her the other day, like 2 days ago.
You did?
Yeah. I set it up.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I felt weird because she popped up on my because I use my contact manager for everybody.
That's so funny. Yeah, you texted me and you were literally like, "Oh, I'm looking at my contact manager. It says Yvonne Illuminati."
Yeah. Yeah. So I called her and I go, and I kind of looked at her, I'm like, why am I calling her? But I must have told her that I'll follow up in late March to see if you're still coming up in May. So I called her, I'm like, hey, Yvonne, blah, blah. And she was super nice, but I think she was kind of confused. She's like, yeah, Galen, yeah, I'm coming up, whatever. We'll like, oh, she was very nice about it, but I'm saying like, it was almost like
she's so funny.
I caught her off guard, and I think because I told her I would just follow up, about a month or so out just to see if she still was coming up, because that is a huge deal. It's not like I have an appointment with her. It's just more of like, hey, if you're planning on coming up, then I'll follow up like right before, because I just want to get it on the books. Because if I'm traveling there, which it sounds like I have to bring all this and go, which is fine, I just got to make sure the distance, 2, travel both ways, also podcast, also just chilling. So it's probably going to be something like early in the morning, I would think, like leaving like morning-ish, getting up there like mid-morning, doing like the podcast, probably seeing the grounds, and then probably like I would say go eat somewhere and then head home. Like that's like kind of like
no, I'll go with you. You're literally going to fall. I know, just based on like,
I can't wait.
I can just tell you based on like the things you and I have talked about over the last few years, you're going to love the property.
Oh, I've
cigars
already deep
totally, the cigars totally fit into the vibe, like everything going on there. But like, wait until you see the way everything is. I just feel like with the tent wedding and all this stuff,
I'm pumped.
Rain or shine, I think the aesthetic of this wedding is going to be so cool. And it's all because obviously Yvonne is this like boss ass businesswoman. Well, I can, like, her and her husband just like purchased the most beautiful property in the Adirondacks.
Like my thing is like I can just sit there and if
like
it's raining, I'll just chill on the open deck and just
out.
Yeah. My thing, if I go to a wedding, my main things when I go to a wedding that I love to do is if the people are good. It doesn't have to be a lot of people. Like my thing is like if you
you'll like a lot of the people.
Well, my thing is the people, the vibe, and the vibe being like fun party crowd. Like
yes,
everybody's been to the weddings where you're just kind of you feel like you're almost like in church and
you're like bopping up and down.
Well, like nobody's doing anything. It's very just kind of like subdued. And it's not fun, and you're just like. And there's some ones where everybody's there to get like just lit up, and it's like
yes,
and I'm pumped.
So I can just tell you that will be the situation because, for example, just to provide you an example of the chaos in our families, my family's very outgoing, but Brady's family loves to dance. They have dance parties at every family gathering, and I can just tell you that. So Brady has family coming from all over the country for the wedding, and they don't get to see each other a whole lot because like his uncle is in California, his cousins are in California, he has cousins in Alabama. They don't get to like hang out all the time. So when they are together, it's like a raging party for like the entire 10 days that they're visiting. And it's exhausting. It's literally exhausting. But it's like even my family knows that like at Christmas time, it's reserved for there are 10 days of like crazy Christmas festivities. That's going to be so Christmas got pushed back. They're doing Christmas at our wedding. That's everybody coming up. We did a family merged Christmas party with his family and my family 2 years ago. We weren't engaged. All of my family members got invited, and then his dad ended up catering, and we all went to Miron's and we had the whole bar. It turned into this. It was like a Thursday. I had to work the next morning. I've never been so hungover going to work. I was like sick the next morning because everybody in our family was like ripping fireball shots. I don't even take shots. And it's because it got so crazy dance wise. Everybody was like singing Mamma Mia, and it wasn't even supposed to be something like that. But every time everybody's together, it turns into that.
Did you ever watch The Great Gatsby?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so Great Gatsby, my favorite book of all time. When the movie came out, I think it went opening day a long time ago. And which seems crazy because I remember like waiting for that movie to come out, and it was like 2 years, 1 year. Like, crap. So the good thing is Leonardo DiCaprio, my favorite actor of all time.
Yep.
There's one line. Now, I want to say it's in the book. My memory is not great. It's definitely in the movie, but I think it's also in the book. And they say, I just don't want to screw this up, so just give me a second.
I love Great Gatsby quotes. They have a lot of good ones.
Well, Great Gatsby, the story is my favorite story by far. It's my favorite book of all time. For many reasons. So my favorite part about The Great Gatsby is that F. Scott Fitzgerald, when he wrote the book, I tend to ramble. I tend to use a lot of extra... It
says get the vaccine.
I can get it.
Yeah, New York State says get it.
Oh, maybe. I got to wait through... Oh, maybe I'll go this week and then... Maybe not.
Yeah, it says because they don't know how much your antibody, your protection.
But you say I might get symptoms, so I may just skip it till I come back. Just I don't want to have the.
Oh
just in case, but no, that's good to know. So I'll be all set. So, Great Gatsby. The one thing I like, He did the book. It is the most. It's it's under 200 pages. I tend to ramble. I tend to like use more words than I should. And
Same.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we're two peas in a pod.
That could be it. That could be it. And I think the thing with him though is he wrote 200 pages, and like every word to me feels like it was like there's a meaning to it. Even the basic words, because everything's concise. Like he doesn't waste time explaining stuff that doesn't need to be explained. Like I've read like John Steinbeck. John Steinbeck will write 3 pages describing this room, and I'm like, John, I get it. It's a room on the second floor in an old train station. Like I can kind of picture it, and I get it. It's part of his writing style, whatever. But I'm one where like if I got to read about the fields and I got to read 3 paragraphs about how the fields glisten in the spring and the summer, I'm like, it's a field. Like I just give me to the plot. I want to get to it. So F. Scott Fitzgerald, great. The one line again is I think it's definitely in the movie. Don't know if it's in the book. Is when they're sitting at a party and they say, I love something about I love big party. I'm going to screw this quote up because let me see if I can look it up. Because if I screw this quote up, and it's got to be if I say Gatsby party quote, Gatsby, and you're going to say spot on. And everybody's going to relate to this. Gatsby party quote. So, yes, of course, bring it right up. I love it. Okay. I like large parties. They're so intimate. At small parties, there isn't any privacy. Let that sink in. I like large parties. They're so intimate. At small parties, there isn't any privacy. It's a mind warp, but think about that.
Yeah, you're definitely, that's kind of
But do you understand it?
Yeah.
Do you want me to explain it?
No, I get it.
Okay.
Well, you can explain it because people are listening.
Okay. Well, do you get it though?
Yeah.
Understand? So the whole idea is like at large parties, because there's so many people, you can have like your little niche of friends. You can have your group of 3 to 5 to 10 people and not care about the other 200 people there.
Yeah.
But when you have a small party, say you have a party of 10, then like if 2 or 3 people are out, that's 30% of your room. And all of a sudden you feel like you're being standoffish or cliquey.
Which is so true though. Side note.
So like some of the worst weddings I've ever been to, not bad because they're bad weddings, but just like fun.
Yeah.
Was because I knew like 80% of the people. And the problem was with those is you don't go on the dance floor. You don't get to hang out with friends. It's like you're mingling the whole day. Yeah. And it just feels like which I love talking to people, but if you go to a wedding and you want to like hang out with people, or you want to hang out with your really close friends, and all of a sudden you're talking to like Uncle Ed and Grandma Susie and cousin someone you haven't seen, and like it turns into a family reunion. It's like great, and all of a sudden you're like, all right, last song. You're like, crap. Where if you go to a wedding, like your wedding, where I don't know probably 90% of the people, maybe it's gonna be a blast because I don't care. Nobody knows me. I'm gonna know a few people. I'm gonna be the dude sitting over there having a cigar, and it'll be, who's that guy? And I'm like, he sounds like a cool dude. Walks over, shoot the shit, have a great time.
I can already tell you that. So I have actually, it's funny. I have spent probably the most amount of time like wedding planning. I also come with a background of wedding planning. So like I love events. This is like my favorite thing, but I've hated planning my own wedding because it's been stressful as hell. But I have been like focusing on like little intimate details because because so many people are coming that don't know each other. Mm-hmm. Even for like my family doesn't know any of Brady's friends. My family hasn't met Brady's extended family. That's like the party crew. But I feel like by all of the little details that I'm like making a big effort on, I feel like it's going to make the goal is everybody who walks into the tent in the wedding ceremony, they feel like they've literally walked through a time warp and they've walked through like every relationship door with us because I have like old pictures from high school. I have like everything. And I think the party atmosphere though of being in this secluded backwooded area on the lake.
Yeah, dope.
Like in between, our tent is literally set up in between cabins. Trees are everywhere around us. It's literally going to be there's a big long walkway that if it rains, that's where the ceremony is going to be. And that's where people are that's the cocktail hour right now. So I know that people are just going to be able to like roam the grounds and just chill, smoke cigars, have a good beer, like just vibe and dance. But I know that the dancing is going to be like off the chart because we have DJ Skippy 1. Love DJ Skippy. He's my dude. Mm-hmm. But he's also just, I feel like, kind of like a family guy in terms of like being able to entertain the families. And I just know that you don't even have to know Brady's family to be able to like dance like crazy. Same with my family. They're all, Filthy Phil. He is just a wild man. So
Dude,
like,
I think I'm looking more forward to Filthy than anything.
and now Yvonne, and Yvonne is like a hoot. Like bring a Michelob Ultra to your podcast. That's what she drinks.
Really? I'll
and
pick up a case.
So her life motto, actually, just the other day, my cousin Ethan and I were sitting in their outdoor shed that's heated, and we were watching. My cousin Ethan insulated his back shed at their house, and he put a wood stove in, so you can just go out and watch TV. It's like a men's cave, basically, man's cave.
Man cave.
And he said the other day, he was like, because he's been on a big moonshine kick. And he quoted
It's
Yvonne.
aggressive, but okay.
I know. He quoted Yvonne. He goes, here's my theory, because Yvonne taught me this way. After every one beer, you have one water, and you'll last all night, and you'll get a good buzz going, but you'll never crash. And I literally was like, that is
And he was doing that with moonshine.
Yes.
Probably a little different ratio of moonshine.
I know, but it's so funny because Yvonne can. So the ongoing joke in our family is, because Yvonne is like family. She's my mom's like best friend. My Uncle John, he can pound beers, like pound them.
Uncle John is her husband.
No, Uncle John is my mom's brother.
Oh, your actual uncle?
Yes,
okay.
He's my real life uncle.
Okay.
He can pound beers. He's large too, like he can throw them back. But the joke was, at my graduation party, they were trying to figure out who could outdrink who. And she outdrank my Uncle John, and she still had her shit together because she is just a boss. And that was the day she preached. After every one, you have water, and you're fine.
You know what is your wedding beer, wine, or is there liquor?
There's going to be liquor, but we're not doing like an open bar for like shots and stuff.
No. But like, is there going to be
rum and Coke, vodka cran, all that stuff.
Okay, so this
is our signature cocktail is actually, we're doing one that's a mojito. Okay. And Brady's dad, he's a bartender at Miron's. He's got like, he had so many ideas for the bar. He had like a whole layout, and it's just like a generic bar, but we're doing mixed drinks.
Is there vodka and club soda?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So my thing, vodka, club, and lime. I probably shouldn't. I probably won't.
We just weren't doing like an open. I mean, obviously it's at a private resort. People are going to bring their own stuff. Like the groomsmen are getting flasks. I know Brady's friends are going to roll in with their own alcohol just because they're going to take shots. Won't tell my mom that. Let's hope she's not listening. But she did not. She was very adamant. She didn't want an open bar for shots, which I get. You don't want people pounding shots. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And even Brady, he doesn't do shots. He doesn't really drink liquor. He likes IPAs. So we were talking about doing a keg from Oval. Mm-hmm. So we had a local beer, and then obviously like the Michelob Ultra, Coors Light, those people. And then just the generic rum, Coke, club soda, vodka, all those goodies.
So kind of like a theory, if I always drink vodka, club, and lime, it's my favorite mixed drink.
That will all be there.
Well, the thing is, you're drinking club soda, vodka's clear liquor, so there's no sugar. So my thing is, you can get hammered on those. Yeah. And you wake up the next morning. I lied. One wedding I went to, I had too much to drink. I didn't wake up the next morning hungover, but I went to go eat, and I could barely eat. I almost threw up.
Yeah.
And I don't throw up, but I had so much. And the problem with that wedding wasn't the vodka clubs that I drank during the wedding. It was the vodka that I chugged or took shots of.
Yeah, shots, they do you in.
That was just vodka.
Yeah.
Like we were drinking like. We had drinks before the ceremony. We had drinks during the ceremony. We had drinks after the ceremony.
Yeah.
And between like the parking lot between the ceremony and walking in, there was just like a lot of just straight vodka. That's the part that was like, eh. But if I just drink vodka clubs, so that's my drink, but you stay hydrated. It's crazy.
No, definitely. And like Brady and I have actually had the conversation of like limiting the before consumption, because Brady, I don't know if you've ever heard of this. When Brady drinks, his eyes get weird in pictures. Like he gets weird, goofy looking eyes, the way that he photographs. So I literally was like, I don't mean to sound like I am all for fun. I'm going to be having fun. My best friends and I are they're in the bridal party. Like I know all morning. It's crazy because I'm not even like a little nervous. I'm like so excited for the day that I literally like, everyone always is like, well, you're going to feel so nervous because you're anxiety ridden, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay, yeah. But like people don't realize like I've lived with the kids since we started dating. Yeah. We basically moved in together 3 weeks into our relationship. Like, I feel pretty much like I always say to my friends, I'm like, we already are married. We have a joint checking account. We live our life. I share all my finances. He has all my deepest, darkest secrets. Nothing's really changing but a certificate. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But I had to give him rules for the groomsmen. I was like, you guys, specifically his roommate Justin, I was like, you are not allowed to be wasted before we do pictures because you're all going to have crazy eyes in the photos. And I said, and once you have crazy eyes, I was like, it's done and over with, because if you make a bad face, Photoshop the shit out of it. But when you have crazy eyes and you look crazy, they can't fix that. Yeah. And we're paying thousands of dollars for our photos and videos. So that's why I'm like, you can't screw this up.
So that's smart. So when we were down in Florida, we got photos and video. And so we had photos and video.
Yep.
So during the ceremony, Gina gave one of our friends the camera to FaceTime her grandmother because she couldn't go down there. She couldn't travel down there. So she wanted her to see the wedding.
Yeah.
And she 100% would have been there but couldn't make it. So we're supposed to be just FaceTime, like, oh, by the way, I'm just going to hold the camera up so you can see the ceremony. He didn't know what he was doing.
Was it looking at him the whole time?
No. Better.
Oh, God.
So, like, the whole thing, he's supposed to FaceTime. It didn't work out. So instead, he had accidentally gone Facebook Live for the wedding.
Oh, my God.
So it wasn't even... So she got to see the wedding, but it was Facebook Live. So all these people are, like, watching, commenting, liking, blowing up. And it wasn't...
Wait, that's so funny.
It wasn't... You can still go back. And if you, like, search back... You can see it. The problem is it's a little blurry because you're literally standing out on the beach. Like, it's like the service is like... I mean, you have service, but it's like spotty. And so whatever. So he does this. So it was like kind of like, oh. And then all of a sudden we like looked at it. We thought it was her grandmother. All of a sudden it's like Facebook Live. And we're like, oh, okay, well...
Did her grandma miss it?
No, she watched it on Facebook Live. But Gina went... When we walked out to the... Or whatever. You walk from the... Where you got married. Because we're on the beach. So it's not like the altar. But you like walk out... So she like looks and she thought she was going to see like her grandma's face there and be, hi, grandma, whatever. So she looked and it was just like the beach. And we just saw like hearts and we saw likes. So we're like, oh, this is Facebook Live. You literally, if you go back and this is from
so
2017,
awesome.
you'll find it. And so I say that is because our person that did our wedding got our photos. Then we're like, hey, I'll get your video for you. Okay, great. Followed up a couple weeks later, like, hey, just checking, do you have the video, whatever. All of a sudden, ghosted us. Never heard from her. We have never gotten the video from our wedding that we paid for.
Why didn't you, like, sue her?
I mean, whatever. It was, at that point, I didn't really care. You didn't get the video. That's all we wanted. Like, I don't want anything else. So, like, we ended up,
so bad.
We got photos from her, and our assumption was the video either never recorded or they never hit record, or it got formatted wrong or something. But instead of her just saying, something happened, my bad, we don't have your wedding. So like the formal wedding video, we never got, which kind of sucks. But the funny thing is all we have is this kind of like crappy like Facebook Live video from 2017 of our wedding, which is like, you can see like, it's not clear.
That's
though.
crazy.
It's not like if you watch it, like, oh, this is a good picture. Like you watch it and like, it's kind of grainy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the funny thing was like just how that ended up working out where you're like.
We hired a guy, it's Camera Films. Look at how freaking cool his videos are. He does like, it's not stereotypical.
Oh, I already like the pan.
He doesn't do normal music. It's like way more us.
Camera Films.
Yeah. Follow him on Instagram. He has some dope music videos. He does everything.
Wait, stop. What's his name? Kammer?
Yeah, Kammer, Kammer. But like, I'm gonna fast forward to like the receptions and stuff. He just does a really good editing.
So this is your guy?
Yeah, he's doing ours, but it was a lot of money.
Kammer Film.
So that's how our video.
Based in upstate. Oh, so he's from around here.
Yeah, he's in Syracuse. His parents are my photographers.
His parents are. Oh, okay.
It's like a whole family affair. And Yvonne referred me to them.
Wow, he does. I mean, a phenomenal job.
I know. Aren't the videos cool?
That's going to be pretty cool. If you guys have something like that, that's legit.
I know. I'm obsessed.
Voiceover? I can't wait to have Phil have a voiceover in this. Oh, it's a girl doing the speech. My bad.
Well, Phil might get a voiceover because my dad claims he's giving a speech just to give a speech.
Why not? I'll raise a glass to that.
But like he just does such a good job.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I feel like we splurged way too much on that. But
yeah, but
like,
you're gonna get that for. Like,
I'm gonna love that forever.
Oh, for sure.
A lot of people are always like, "Well, I didn't love my video. I didn't watch it." And in my head, I'm like, I can tell you based on my personality, I'll watch that.
You would watch that on your anniversary every year.
Yeah,
and then
hell
you would
yeah.
randomly find like you'll randomly be like sitting around on like a, I don't know, like random January.
Yeah. No, I'm
January 10th, but like a random day, and you're just gonna be like, oh, hey, let's watch our video, and you're gonna pop it on. But you're definitely gonna watch it on your anniversary.
No, absolutely.
And your kids will watch it, which is cool.
You know what? If I have to pay $3,000 more to have that high tech great video,
oh yeah, it's worth it.
I don't care. It's worth it. I'm gonna be able to. My biggest thing was I want to show my kids. I want to have it like on my computer so that if I ever want to like look back at anything, I have it.
That's incredible what he did.
He's just really artistic, and he has this capability of like modernizing it. Yeah, it's not like this old fashioned like. Do you take so and so to be so and so? Yeah, it's not like that. It's literally like music video. Literally,
that's an entertaining video.
Yeah. So, and even after I emailed him and talked to him the first few times, because Yvonne said we ran into a whole bunch of vendor issues, and when we were rebooking everything, Yvonne was literally like, again, my saving grace. She was like, contact this person, this person, this person, and this person. And I like booked all the people she sent me. Because the minute, you know, when you like talk to somebody, you just trust them that you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Whether you want 5,000 or 10,000, I just trust the fact that you're going to be able to give me what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to stress about it all day. You know what I mean?
That'd
And
be a fun
I was
job.
so stressed about it when I had other vendors where I was like, I don't even know if they're going to pay attention to these things because they were so flaky. Well, and that's why I was like, you know what? I'm so happy I found these people. And yes, they have to travel here from Syracuse, but their prices were so much better. That's why I was like, you know what? It was worth it.
Oh, for sure. I think the thing for weddings, like, don't go crazy spending money on like set pieces and like stuff nobody cares about. At the end of the day, this is what people want, like the people, the food, the music, the drinks. That's it.
We have great food too.
And I would say venue is an important
catering.
thing. Like if you have all those things, nobody cares like the decorations. Nobody cares. It's like they want the people, the memory stuff. Because if you have
I did splurge on. So we don't have normal decor. We just did all floral stuff. But I love flowers, so that's where I was like, I'm not going to worry about like centerpieces and stuff.
Should I wear a floral tie?
Oh, go for it.
Because I bought a floral tie.
Brady's wearing a floral tie.
Oh, I don't want to crash. No,
No, it's not. Everybody, a whole bunch of people. My uncle actually, he bought a floral tie. It fits the vibe. Well,
the thing is, I have a floral tie that I just bought.
I have it.
And I said that would be perfect.
No, it is perfect.
Scene.
No, don't even think that you're like crashing a vibe.
If it's the same tie as Brady, I'm throwing it out and going tieless.
Where'd you get the tie?
Men's Warehouse.
Okay, so it's not the same tie.
I don't even know what color it is.
I'm trying to pull Brady's up. So he's wearing a navy slim fit suit with brown shoes.
Navy. Okay, so don't wear navy.
No, you can wear navy. Who cares? It's not going to be the same. I know multiple people who are actually wearing navy. I'm just trying to find the tie because it's so good. It's just great. I literally am obsessed with it. I actually bought the tie. I didn't tell him I bought the tie. We ordered it and then it came in and I literally was like, by the way, this is your tie. Because I was so obsessed with it. God damn it, where is it? I have it. It's just so, and that's kind of like where we splurged was our florals, because that is our decor.
Floral being flowers.
Yes. Okay. So we are doing our florals through Mossbrook, which they were awesome because they know I love flowers. So they literally let me like sit down and it was so cool because this is like a flower lover's dream. Jen gave me a binder and she was like, okay, so when you come to the meeting, bring printouts from Pinterest, whatever, like things you like. So I went in with like 10 pages, like whatever. It was because it was kind of like I liked this vibe, but I knew that like I wasn't pinpointing any specific thing. It was just I like vines, I like greenery, whatever. But I like vibrant colors. So that's where a lot of brides go like neutral. I like bright colors, like peonies. And so I went in and the only flower I literally said was, I want anemones in my bouquet because they're like white dainty with little navy blue centers. And she was like, yeah, no problem. And then she handed me the binder. She literally was like, okay, go through the binder and like bookmark the things you like. So I bookmarked all the things I liked. And then she literally sent me a vision board. So that is the cool part is literally it shows you like all the things that we got. and all of the stuff is being created like tailored to the things I brought her from Pinterest with the flowers from the binder that she gave me.
And she had just an eye for this. She was just like, grab
she
kind of
literally was like, tell me what you like, the textures. So she had me pick by like 3 basic things. It was the color, the texture, and the like vibe that I was going for. So you obviously don't want all like pods, eucalyptus pods or whatever they're called. So I literally, so I sent her these photos. Look, I said, I like this photo on Pinterest. It's an arbor.
Okay.
And I said, I like
the round things. In
yeah, to get married under.
Okay.
I said, I like the vibrant colors with the greenery on the arbor.
So is that what yours is going to look like?
Yeah, she's making that.
Cool.
Then I said, and I have, my favorite color is blue. So a lot of our stuff is kind of blue like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have blue glassware, all that stuff. So then she was like, okay, so now let's pinpoint flowers that match your blue, but mix in like all the other colors. So then she put together, based on my Pinterest board, a flower board for me. And she sends me this. So those are all my colors. Is it like spot on? Yeah. No, it literally was like to a T of everything I wanted.
So that's just throughout the venue, throughout the tables, throughout everything.
Everything.
Just random these like.
So the centerpieces are big, long vines, and I didn't want to do... So I gave her some challenging requests because everybody does eucalyptus vines. Mm-hmm. That is like the most go-to vine. And I was like, I went in and I was like, I don't want to sound like a jerk, but eucalyptus, just pure eucalyptus, it's so overused that like I need something else. So I gave her a Christmas photo. It's a Christmas vine with thick like pine trees, but obviously I didn't want pine trees. So I was like, I don't know what you can do with this, but I love the different textures with the eucalyptus. So it's not like just a basic eucalyptus vibe. But I said I also don't want just greenery on the tables. I want like pinks, blues, yellows, oranges. I want color. So she literally came back and she was like, okay, so I'm going to texture your vines with cedar, pods, all these different like textures and like 3-dimensional shapes. And then she goes, and then I'm going to add in like clippings of peonies, hydrangeas, anemones, baby's breath, everything. And I was like, see, they know what they're talking about because they understood like I didn't want what everybody else had, but I wanted like classy, timeless, but bright. Mm-hmm. And she was able to literally every single thing that I talked to her about, like boutonnieres. Brady got to pick his boutonniere. All of the guys, I got to design every single boutonniere. The headpieces. So I have a hair piece going in because I'm wearing my hair up. I got to pick everything in my hairpiece. The ferns at the end of the aisle, I got to decide like how big I wanted them because they can cut them back for you. The whole thing is like insane.
Are you someone that, like, when I see you post something that's like fancy, I don't call fancy, like your craft stuff or flowers or a lot of your photos, I look at it and like it reminds me of like Pinterest, or it reminds me of like photographers and vendors and like one, we've talked like you filter stuff or can filter it. But when you take photos, how much work is done in post? Meaning you take the photo, post meaning all the filter stuff after, post picture. Like, and then do you overthink your photos, or are you pretty much like boom, like it go?
It's literally a matter of seconds.
Okay, because I
don't even edit for that long. I have a Lightroom app. I literally have presets that I bought from Amber Massey Photography, and I click one filter,
and that's it.
I don't even do it. I don't even care enough about my pictures to like scale. Like I know friends who like sharpen them and do all that stuff. I don't care about it.
I do that to every single photo because I'm too. I don't say too dumb because I can look it up, but I haven't looked up the time to actually pick out the filters.
Yeah, I don't. Yep.
So my thing is I edit them,
like,
but I'm
these
also
are all presets.
Like if you post it, like go to give me something that's not like a person, like something that's like something else, like like a flower or something. Yeah, so like I look at that, I'm like that just looks like what you would see, and like that looks really cool. Like the colors just pop and everything looks really cool, and it's kind of got preset. like it pulls out the main subject but kind of whitens out the background, so it looks like like I would look at that and it's something you'd see in like in a magazine. I always think like you have a good eye for stuff, and maybe you look at that and you're like, that looks like kind of a crappy photo. I look at it, I'm like, wow, that looks like really artistic. But my thing is for me to try to replicate that because I don't have that eye. I have an eye in certain things. Like I take house photos, I love it because I can see it, but I'm trained on it. If I'm taking decorative photos, I'm like, is that too little, too much? And I'm clueless. Where you're just like, do, and I'm like, oh, it looks perfect. Like
my Christmas tree. So I uploaded this picture of Milo sitting in front of the tree, and I look back at it and I'm like, I should have totally done a different preset, but I rushed uploading it because I didn't. I took
See, like
the picture,
that, I would say is like, that looks cool.
I took the picture, I put a preset on it, and I uploaded it.
So you don't like that.
Like, I jumped the gun because I'm not a person who, like, my cousin Ella always makes fun of me. I just don't care what my feed looks like. So I'm not, like, focused on, like, what that looks like. Like, when you look at the feed as a whole, like, I don't care.
No, yeah. No, I'm not.
So, like, I just literally, I take a picture, and normally within the first 5 minutes, I know that I really liked that picture and I'm going to Instagram it. I throw a preset on it so it's bright, and then I call it a day.
Like, mine are terrible. You know when mine looks really good? Anytime I go down near Christmas, because I get, like, the trees.
Yeah.
Like, that always looks like Christmas time. I'm like, it just looks nicer.
No, I love Christmas.
And then I go to, like, these random photos that I posted recently, and I haven't been posting a lot on Facebook or Instagram or anything recently. I just forget to. I'm busy, and I'm like,
you're boring.
Well, I used to post 3 times a day. I posted today for the first time in like 2 weeks and it's just I don't know. I just didn't have time, or I just don't make time to go on it as much.
I love my tree in that. In the back.
Yeah, like those look cool. I just think like the color schemes and stuff you use like really pop off the page
which I think a lot of it has to do with, though, like unintentionally, my house is like the most colorful place ever.
Yeah.
I have colors everywhere in my house.
Yeah, you got like
my house is a distinct taste. Like, some people would hate it, and some people would
love
it.
The fact that you have a green house
that's different,
an indoor greenhouse. Also, it is closing in on 6:00, and look how bright out it is.
I know, isn't it amazing?
Like, I just feel like usually if this isn't like the winter, it's like 6:30. I'm like 5:30. I'm like falling asleep, and now I look at it, I'm like, wow, I got like 2 more hours of daytime.
I know. I'm gonna go home and I think sit on my porch because it feels like spring.
Yeah, it's nice. Like, we've had the windows open the whole time, and it like doesn't.
My
I thought it was
greenhouse in my living room is actually 82 degrees right now. When I left, it was 82.
On purpose, or is that just because it pulls in the sun?
No, I have a heater in there.
Purposely?
Yeah, because that's how seeds start. You need heat lamps, so I have heat lamps, lights.
So you can incubate the seeds?
Literally, I had like sweat dripping down the greenhouse.
That's just inside, though. Mm-hmm. So like outside it's normal, but like inside you open it up and it just feels like a sauna.
Literally.
I want to get a sauna.
You should just come see my greenhouse because you'd be amazed. I have 1,600 seeds living in it right now.
That seems extensive to me because having seen your dining room, right? It's in dining room. Having seen your dining room and then seeing that pop up and seeing how it takes up feels like almost the entire dining room.
It is. I have a walkway.
It's pretty extensive.
It's insane. But when you think about it, we're putting all of those seeds into a 30 by like 60 plot of multiple beds.
Could you have done that? Is it inside just because of the temperature?
Yes, it's too cold for me outside. And
your garage is not heated, right?
So I also started them a little bit earlier because I want to be able to sell the bouquets earlier in the summer.
Oh, this is for your crafts or your Linda Jean.
So like we have vegetables, we have bouquets so the whole point was I wanted to be able to make bouquets and sell them as like a neighborhood like drive-by you can pull up. You know when you go through like a vegetable booth?
You're kind of like the Amish when they sell stuff on the road?
Yes, and you can like all you have to do is put cash in the box. Like CSA's in our area. You can like go into the like at Rehoboth Farm, you can literally pull up, go shopping, you can either Venmo or you can put money in the box. It's like an honor system.
Yep.
I was like, you know what? I love having fresh flowers. If people in our neighborhood, because people had asked me about it, originally I was just going to sell them at our booth. But then I realized, you know what? If people in the neighborhood want them, I could put them at a booth at the end of my driveway. Honor system.
Preset, like
all you have to do is go home and
$10,
put it in a vase.
$5,
yeah.
$30. Yeah.
Literally, just go home and put it in a vase. You pay me, and then I can take care of the fertilizing, the water, everything to get them ready.
So when you say 1,600, that's 1,600 flowers. But if you're making like a bouquet, you could have like 10 to 15 in one, 3.
No, so you have multiple stems that come up with multiple flowers.
So 1,600 is those stems growing into multiple flowers.
Yeah, so it's gonna like multiply by like 4 for flower wise.
Oh, so you could have over 5,000, 6,000.
Yeah, and then I also have direct sowing seeds. Like I have Sparky sunflowers, I have regular sunflowers, I have the bachelor buttons. Those are all they all have to go right in the ground.
Have you reached out to Philip about this? You said you got the seeds from him, or discussed
No, I got
seeds?
I haven't reached out to him about seeds, but I know he does his from seeds too. I think
I want to go see his house someday.
I want to see his house. His garden is like
I know it
enough
looks
to
dope.
make
I just
me,
follow
like,
him all the
lose my
time, and
shit.
he's one guy that
I find him so fascinating.
he's running for town supervisor.
I know, good.
And my thing is like, I don't like, brother. I don't know how you're doing what you're doing.
He's busy all the time, but that's kind of why I find him so interesting.
I see the numbers he puts up for real estate, which are insane. Like, okay, the stuff he's doing at the level he's doing it at the time period he's doing it blows my mind.
Yeah,
blows my mind. And then I sit there and I'm like, part of it's like, okay, I know what I do and I know how I do it.
Yeah.
How have you gotten to that level so quick? And then also, how do you do everything else? Well, yeah, how else do you do everything else that you do? He's got a garden. He's a broker.
Yeah.
He's running for town supervisor. Which makes, I mean, I don't want to say it makes zero sense, but I'm saying it makes zero sense in the sense of like, you have
how does he
24 hours
have
in
so
a
much
day.
time?
You know, that's a bad thing to run for. I don't know how you do it. And then, like, I don't know. He's an like him, great guy.
No, he's interesting.
Cat though. Like does a lot of stuff and like a very like Renaissance kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like he does a lot of things. If I said
he's
Renaissance, he's probably gonna laugh at
very-
me because he's gonna be like, "That's a dumb thing."
No, and like the other thing is he's redoing his living room right
yeah,
now.
like old
he's
house, like
literally
very antique guy.
So yeah, the antiquing, which it makes me so mad that I don't live where he lives because sometimes he'll post things and I'm like, I don't have a way to get that to my house.
Next time,
His garden though, like that's my dream.
well, I got to reach out to him, not now, but like I do want to just take like a random trip out there and go see him.
Yeah, I want to go with you.
Yeah, because I've never really.
I just want to see his, like he always talks about his shed in his basement full of antiques. I just want to see all of it.
I want to see his garden. I want to see his office. I want to just go and just
Yeah.
like chill there.
I'm so excited
We'll
to
have
see
to
it.
take a trip, maybe like May.
Yeah, when it's
some-
like nice.
Yeah, I'd like nicer. Like we just like,
When stuff has sprouted so I can see the garden and it's full of
stop at an Amish shop. I just have never really been out there, so I just want to go visit him out there, check it out. We were supposed to go to something like next week in Syracuse, and it got rescheduled because of COVID.
Was it the Gary Vee thing?
Yeah. Well, actually, no, it was supposed to be in September. Got rescheduled to April. Then they found out that it went virtual, which I was like, this sucks. I was like, there's no. I'm like, why? Whatever. I was kind of pissed about that. But the whole thing was like, I had, and I'm gonna be in Florida during the time.
Yeah.
So like, it kind of just worked out. Like it was kind of crappy, but.
Yeah, that sucks.
We were so excited about it, but we were going to go down like in a week from now, 2 weeks from now or something to go do it.
Yeah.
A week. It would have been next Thursday, I think.
That sucks that it's all virtual.
And honestly, I'm out of town and I got to fly to a wedding in Texas that day. So I'm like, I'm out. Like I have I have that, like the 2 days that it's going.
Where in Texas?
San Antonio. So
San Antonio is apparently amazing.
everybody said that. I've never been to Texas.
Jealous.
So
how long are you there?
like Thursday, we leave Thursday, come back Sunday. So I mean, it's not, it's
so
like
not that much time.
the
But
wedding's
you'll still be able to get some
Saturday.
good food.
Yeah, I want barbecue, or steak. Not barbecue. I would take barbecue.
Well, no, I technically went to Dallas and Waco, so that isn't the same thing. They have really good taco places. Well,
Well, I'm
when you're
sure. I've
there.
heard nothing but good things about Texas.
Like
I just have never been.
Velvet Taco, I think it was called. Oh my god, I don't know if they have one in San Antonio. It's so freaking good, amazing.
Well, I wanted to go to Austin because
Yeah.
Austin's only like an hour and 20 minutes
Yeah.
from San Antonio. But like, I'm going on a Thursday, come back on a Sunday. I'm in the wedding. We're playing golf on Friday, I think, and the wedding's
Oh,
Saturday.
you're
So-
in the wedding?
Yeah, so it's fun.
Cool.
Well, it'll be a blast, but it's like there's just not a lot of time to do other stuff. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like you're just going for the wedding and bouncing out. So
Yeah, you'll be tired.
yeah, it'll be quick, and then
Yeah.
so. But we'll see. It'll be fun. It'll be like the wedding will be a blast, but like I won't have time to like go do other stuff because like
Yeah.
I'll go to Austin for like a day or two, spend the night, spend a day and a half there, come back, but it won't happen.
Yeah. Philip, his garden though, that's like the one thing that makes me sometimes when I'm sitting at home doing my like gardening and stuff, I'm always like, it's so annoying that I don't run a YouTube channel because I would have so much content when it's like this
We
time of the
talked
year.
about this.
I know. When
I don't
it's
know
this
how
time
you
of the
don't,
year,
'cause you
though,
do, like, a
because I have so much stuff that I could like share with people. I have people DMing me, so it's funny. I literally filter the people who follow me. I like delete people all the time because I'm just very weird about it. But I have people DMing me all the time asking me plant questions like, how do I take care of this? Or this is dying. Like, what do I do with this? Can you do these floral arrangements? Just the other day, a family friend was like, can I hire you to do my florals for my wedding? And I literally was like, I don't know. That's a lot of pressure. And she was like, no, honestly, I think you can do it, blah, blah, blah. And in my head, I'm thinking, why am I not doing a YouTube channel? Because some of the crap that I put Brady through and the things I'm running out of my house are absolutely ridiculous. Just yesterday, I had to go to Target and buy a massive bookshelf for my office again. This is the 6th time I've had to go buy a bookshelf just to store inventory on.
Really?
We are literally bursting at the seams out of our house.
I think you should, because there's a gazillion things that you do that are all trendy and have a follow. You've done a blog. Like, my thing is, you take someone, no offense, people that are active, like, if you're someone that has a good personality and is, like, I would say eccentric, eclectic.
Yeah.
Both the same, right?
Eclectic, yeah.
Like you do a lot, you're energetic. I think people, like, naturally get drawn to your energy. For you to, like, just write stuff down, you don't get that. You putting you on video, you're like, it's a whole nother person. Like,
yep,
your personality and, like,
it's a vlog.
Well, but I mean, like, written word is like one dimensional. Like, this is like 3-4 dimensional, because you got your, the look, you get the sound, you get the activity level, you get your mannerisms. Yep. Like, I think you do that, you show stuff, it's better context. People don't, like, no offense, like, I can't read, like, I read and I'm like, I'm done. But if I watch a video, I can sit there and watch a video and I retain more.
Yeah.
I think you should. I mean, obviously
that's
time
like,
wise.
I go on YouTube to, like, learn how to do all the stuff that I'm doing. Like, I took a florist course this past winter, and I did everything on, she uploaded everything to video, and I sat there and I was literally, like, taking notes on the video like a little nerd. Yeah. But that's how I did it. I'd literally watch the video, I took notes, and then I used that, and I went on with, like, what else I needed to do, and that's how I knew I needed vermiculite and all this stuff. And now I have 1,600 seeds, and they've all bloomed.
Just like a green thumb. Amazing.
Yeah, I had a dead rose bush the other day at my mom's.
Thorns too?
Yeah, like, it was dead. It was in a little pot, and she let it just die. And I looked at it, and I was like, that is the most depressing thing. And she was like, yeah, I'm going to throw it in the trash. It's dead. And I was like, no, let me just take it home. I took it home. I watered it, popped it in my greenhouse. It is, I'm going to send you a picture of it.
Is it thriving?
It is so green and healthy right now. I'm going to put it in my garden.
When's it bud? Or not bud, bloom? Bloom?
It looks like it's getting ready to bloom.
Really?
Like, it's on the verge of growing blossoms back, because she let all of them shrivel up and die.
So at some point, because we'll see this on the gram.
My sister kills everything too.
Plants?
Oh my God, my sister is the worst about plants.
Like, not talented, or doesn't care? Probably both.
She loses interest after she plants them. But she's annoying because she loves the way plants look. So, like, I have, like, every plant under the sun. I have succulents. I have the long vine plants. I have, like, all of the categories. I have a blossoming plant that I love. It's it looks like aloe, but it's not, and it grows buds. I research, so when I sell my plants at the farmer's market, my aloe plant, do you know how I got my aloe plant? This is, like, how crazy I am about plants. I was visiting my grandparents in Florida. Their next door neighbor was growing aloe in their tree. So their tree had a pocket. Mm-hmm. They put dirt in that pocket, and they put an aloe stem in there one day, and it grew this huge aloe plant. I ripped off a piece of it, put it in my purse. Oh, yeah. I carried it home on a plane. Yeah. I had a blister on my nose from a sunburn, so I brought the aloe because I wanted to put it on my face. Mm-hmm. I planted the aloe when I got home, and now I have broken off, like, 12 different plants worth of aloe plants.
Because doesn't it grow like a cactus almost?
Yeah, and it grows up, and you get, like
you
it's
can
not
break
like
it.
Buds,
yeah,
but
it's
it,
almost like you just crack it. It's like a shell, and you crack it. Yeah.
Literally. So I made a pot that said aloe you very much. Like, I love you very much, but aloe you very much. Get it? No pun intended, but intended. Huh?
A lot of pun.
I put an aloe plant in that pot, and the lady, like, came up immediately at the flea market on Sunday, and she was like, so is this, like, organically grown? And I literally was like, well, it's funny you ask. It is. I put everything in organic soil, but I was like, I literally picked this off of a tree in Florida. Like, I literally carried it home in my bag, planted it at home, and now it is so big, like, that...
You didn't get, like, slammed at, like... I guess you're not going through, like, TSA or anything. Are you going through TSA?
They asked me about it. They were like, why are you... Because it was without soil. It was just the stems of aloe.
Well, like, if you go through customs, a lot of times you can't do, like, agricultural stuff.
Oh, yeah. They literally... The woman said to me... I remember... This was so many years ago, but I remember going through customs, and I had that in my bag. I had a couple weird things from Florida. And I remember she said to me, she was like, are you just carrying aloe? I had a massive... like blister though covering my entire nose. Yeah. And I remember like I had a hat on to hide it because it was so swollen and bad. It was the worst experience ever. It was like lifted off my face like an inch. And I lifted my hat up and I was like, I just pointed. I was literally like, this is why I'm carrying aloe around like a drug dealer. And she giggled and she was like, okay, good luck with that. Have a good flight.
Gina brought home from Florida one time an avocado. And the avocado...
Did it get flagged?
No, we brought it home.
Oh, you did?
So normal avocado, like you would go to the store, you palm your hand. Like,
yeah.
Well, this avocado was... I might have photos of it from back... Probably this big.
Oh, my God.
They're massive. But like when you go to the store, they look like... it's almost like black. Like, they're dark.
That's when they're ripe.
This was green. It was like almost like a mango. Like a big mango.
That's so
funny.
And
we bought it, or not bought it.
Did she plant the seed?
Yes, but I don't think it grew anything. That was the whole point. We want to bring it back, have it, sprout it, whatever they do for the seed. I don't grow anything. I think in my future self I'd get into gardening, but right now...
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool to like see everything going because like my cucumbers right now are so big. And I just remember being like, the fact that like, and actually, you know what's most fascinating to me? There's this weird variety of poppies. It's called the Iceland poppies. Super rare. They're really hard to grow. And seeing them go from, here's where it's weird. This is why I'm like so into like greenhousing and everything. You plant these seeds. I took a picture of them. The seeds look like dust particles.
This is poppy seeds?
Iceland poppy seeds, yes. So I plant these little seeds. And overnight, so it was like a week of nothing. And then overnight, it's like I woke up the next morning and there were little tiny green stems. Like, how does that happen?
Are poppies the little red ones that they wear in England?
No, they have all different colors. They're like the
What's
dainty...
the red one they wear in England?
I don't know. In England?
Yeah, there's a certain day they wear a flower. It's like a red flower. It's like Poppy Day or something.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Let me see what it is. Again, I'm not...
going to show you a picture of the Iceland poppies on my hand. It's insane.
Let me see. I think it's called Poppy Day. God, I don't know.
I love poppies.
Poppy Day.
I have so many.
Oh, Poppy Day UK. I was right. Yeah, here you go.
It is
Remembrance Day. It's called Remembrance Day.
Oh yeah, those are poppies.
Yeah, so they wear little red stems on all the they all wear shirts and stuff. November 11th, cool. 2021. So it's like Remembrance Day is like our Veterans Day.
So like that's in my house. All of those started as like little tiny plants.
How many plants do you think you have in your house?
I counted 2 weeks ago. I have 38 plants in my house.
Oh, dear God. Do you have to water them every day?
Nope, not all of them. I don't water all of them every day. I get those little...
Do you have cactuses?
Oh, yeah. I get those
little...
little...
cactuses as kids.
Yeah, I get those little... For the plants that need to be watered every day, I get the things that you stick in and they have a bubble of water, so they're self-watering.
Yep. It's like a bulb.
These are Iceland poppies. Look at those seeds.
Oh, those are tiny.
They are literally dust particles, and if you crush them too hard, they turn into dust. And this is them.
Doesn't poppies are the ones that make opium?
Oh, I have no idea about that.
Right, the drug? Am I thinking the right one?
That.
I probably just said that like a.
Yeah, I don't know.
The only reason I know, because someone's gonna be like poppy, because I watched. What's it called? Ozark, and people probably think I know what I'm talking about. Opium poppy.
It is? Wow, I didn't know
So poppy seeds. Have you ever watched Ozark?
No, but you've told me multiple times I need to watch it.
Yeah, the only reason I'm saying that is because I actually watched during COVID.
Didn't you watch it when you had COVID?
Yep, you can do a lot while you're sitting around at home doing nothing. So I ended up doing that, but they ended up the poppy seed in the movie they make or the show they make poppies, but the poppies. They're doing it for opium. So they have these poppy fields, and they take them in to make opium.
That's crazy.
So, like, again, my drug, obviously very, very, drug knowledge is very low. But I think that was it. That's all I have. Anna, wrap this up.
Come visit my garden.
Well, I can. We pretty good. Do you know how long we've been on?
No.
3.
No way.
Yeah.
Look at my
Honestly, I didn't
ranunculus,
notice
though.
until I just looked
I started
down.
these as bulbs. Those are
those
thriving.
poppies?
No, these are ranunculus plants.
Ranunculus. Never heard that.
Oh, they're beautiful. Look at this picture. Sorry, I know you're trying to cut off.
No.
Look
we're
at
good.
this. They're beautiful. They're textured. I'm so excited.
So these are just the ones you want to put out by the road? Those are pretty cool. Those are like carnations.
So these are actually going in...
No? Bad
No. I'm not a carnation girl.
Is that the carnations are too basic?
Cheesy. Yeah, too cheesy.
They're like prom,
And
like
for
first date kind of thing.
Yeah, and for the tender love and care I have to put into these
What
things.
is that?
A ranunculus.
Are roses kind of overrated?
Yes, I hate roses passionately.
Okay, so roses,
just,
carnations.
I don't hate roses because they just aren't. They're not my thing. I don't like them.
For a guy to give his wife, say, what is the best flowers to give? What's a safety bet? Because you just said carnations and roses. That's like guys go in and like,
everybody is a little different. I know people who freaking love roses. They think that's the most romantic gesture ever. I'm more of a I love greenery, so I love to get like a bouquet of peonies in June when they're in their prime. I like to get the bouquets that have like foxgloves mixed into them, ranunculus bulbs, anemones. I like complicated flowers.
I thought anemones were like a sea animal.
Anemones are the most beautiful plant.
Sea anemone?
An anemone.
Is that a sea animal? Sea anemone?
Yes, but it's different. See, these are anemones. These are like my favorite things ever. These are like my all-time favorite flower. I had to keep these in my refrigerator, the seeds, for 3 weeks before I could plant them.
The white ones?
Mm-hmm.
Anemone?
See, look at those.
They got little eyeballs.
And I like the greenery, like Dusty Millers, all of that stuff. I love textured flowers. So Brady always talks about how it's so complicated to get me flowers because obviously I have expensive taste because I like flowers and I read about them and I research them. But for basic flowers, I love dahlias. I love poppies. I love all that crap. I don't like carnations.
They're too basic.
And they just look cheap to me. But here's the thing. I'm growing a variety of carnations in my garden, but they don't look like the regular carnations you get after like a band concert.
I know what you're talking about.
Like it's a totally
like the
different
ones
look.
they give you for like homecoming, or they give you for like a
I don't like
dance
that right there.
Or like you go to a play or something, you buy carnations for whoever's on stage.
Like my poppies. Here, I'll show you what my poppies are going to look like, and then I swear I'm going to shut up. I am growing these poppies.
Are you guys doing well at the craft fair? The farmers market?
Yeah, we did really well this past weekend. We're done the Troy one. We're going to Saratoga next.
Really? Mm-hmm. Are you going to do them up here too? Like downtown?
I don't know if we're doing them up here. Like, I'm growing those, all 4 of those.
That exact color and everything?
Yeah. Like, look at these poppies. You're telling me that these are not amazing. I don't know why I just, like, look at these flowers and they bring me so much joy. Those are pretty
those purple?
Cool. Yeah. They're called Earl Grey.
Ooh, Earl Grey tea.
Yeah.
Is that why the tea's called Earl Grey? I drank a lot of Earl Grey tea when I was a kid.
I love Earl Grey. But like even the poppies down here, I have a whole bunch of these varieties that are actually that are planted right now. Like the California Thai silk ones I have planted. California poppy.
Do you have any orange ones?
Yeah, my Iceland poppies will actually be yellow and orange. For Gina.
She will never listen to this. So that's great.
I have orange varieties. I have all of it.
Huh. That's good to know.
I have peach zinnias.
When do they bloom?
So I did them earlier so that they're a little bit bigger when I put them in the ground. But I'm hoping for like end of June, mid-June. And then I'll have a whole nother variety come July. July 4th, I'm going to be like super busy harvesting my flowers because I'm going to be having all of June and July mixed in.
Okay.
So honestly, the week of July 4th, those are going to be like my prime bouquets.
That's like high bloom.
Yeah.
Is that when DC's in high bloom? We always talk about DC. Is that when DC's in full bloom?
DC's in full bloom right now. It's
really?
the Cherry Blossom Festival. My friend and I were just talking about it yesterday. She's going to take a bus down because she wants to go so bad.
From up here?
No, she's in Pittsburgh.
Oh. We can trip. Hop on the plane.
I want to go so bad. Oh my God. It's killing my soul to not go to the Cherry Blossom Festival. I can't even
Have you been before?
No. But I need to go. Can you believe that?
Well, I thought you would be like,
me
honestly,
who hasn't been. I'm like, that's a joke. Ugh.
What's tomorrow? What is?
Do you want to go?
Tuesday?
Let's just book a ticket right now. I'll go. I'm
No,
vaccinated.
you can. No, because I got to go to Florida. But
Let's
I think
Oakland.
you can go with Oakland. You want to babysit her for the full week? She's great. She's messy, so make sure you have wipes and stuff.
She's messy. I love that. That's how you describe her. She's
she's a mess. She gets out of the bath. She's like all clean. We decide to have ice cream. I give her ice cream. So 2 days in a row, she's had ice cream. That's why I got to head out because we got to go get them ice cream because they wanted ice cream tonight. They've been saying it for the last 2 days.
That's so cute.
They colored these little things for stewards. So if you bring them in, you get a free ice cream cone. So they've told me I have to color them to go in. So they're excited. So she ended up ice cream, gave her cookies and cream, Stewart's. She's eating out of the bowl. It is everywhere. Like, because she's on a spoon, and she'll, like, lift it up and, like, look around, and it's dripping down the spoon, and then she'll be like, because she kind of, like, grunts. Like, you can say dad, but she grunts. And I look at her. She's got, like, ice cream dripping down. She's got brand new pajamas on, so her hands and things are all sticky. Like, you're such a mess. Then she'll go like this. She'll blow her hair because it gets in her eyes.
Oh,
she'll blow
no.
her mouth, and she'll take her hair and go like this to move it out of her eyes, not
With the
knowing
ice
she's
cream
got
on her
ice cream on her
hand?
hands. I'm like, you just got out of the bath. So then she finished up. I took the ice cream and I put it back in the fridge. You would have thought I shot her dog. She was like, yeah. I'm like, dude, relax. You just had a full bowl of ice cream. I'm putting it away. You're fine.
She's
You're
awesome.
You're not even 2 yet. You had a full meal. This is probably your third dessert of the day. You're fine.
What?
Freaking out that I took her ice cream away from her. I'm like, okay, you're going to bed. Because, like, she's, like, just waterworks. I took her ice cream away.
That is
And I'm like,
so
you are literally your
amazing.
mother's
She's
daughter.
me. Like, don't you dare touch it.
You need to hang out with Gina more because Gina is ice cream, sweets, like French Canadian blood,
Yeah.
and Oakland is a chip off the old block.
And you know what's funny? I'm very territorial about food. Like, when Brady's like, oh, do you want to share this? I'm literally like, I would rather spoon my eyeballs out than share my meal because this is my meal.
So Gina doesn't share anything with me until she doesn't feel like she's hungry anymore, and then
Yes,
I get
that's
it.
me. I get annoyed when Brady's like, can I take a sip of your drink? I'm like, go get your own damn drink.
And then she'll try some of my food. And then the best one is she's the queen of, like, cutting dessert. And that's what she does. She'll be like,
You take the small
and
one.
I go, why'd you do that? It's smaller or has less frosting on it?
No,
It's
she's
basically
me.
she's giving me the worst of the two pieces.
No, I
this
am
is
the
me.
same exact
I'm
way.
like, which one's better? Give it to her because I know
Yeah.
she's gonna freak it. And we're talking like a
micro,
like
like,
the width of a butter
literally.
knife size difference, if that. And it's like what everyone looks like it has more to it goes to her.
No, that's me.
So and then she's already been. She's like, the kids are older.
Have
I'm
you
still
gotten special fries from McSweeney's yet? No, based on that face right there.
I don't think so. But you told me to get them at Claire and Carl's. I thought.
Okay, so when Brady and I get McSweeney's to go and we eat it at home, we get 4. I eat 2, he eats 2 because I'm a
Special fry. Oh yeah, but they
I
only
can
come in the little
house them.
things.
Yeah, they're in like the little
those-
fry
yeah.
holder.
Yeah.
Everyone always makes it out like it's such a big deal that I can eat 2, and you know what?
Yeah,
no
no,
shame
it's-
in my game. I can eat like a man.
It's not like it's
But-
not like you're having 2 bags of like Five
Guys
bags.
French fries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no,
I
they're
know what
little
you're talking
like little boats.
They're a little bit bigger than like a hot dog
Yeah.
bowl.
So he and I always get the 4, and they wrap them in tinfoil. Which, if anyone is listening to me from McSweeney's, stop wrapping them in tinfoil.
Fair,
It's
because it
really
moistens
pissing me
it.
off. It
Yeah.
crushes them, and then I get them extra crispy, and they're not crispy anymore. So, long story short, I always scrape the sauce and the cheese off of the top of the tinfoil,
Mm-hmm.
and then whichever one is messier, he gets the 2 messy ones. And he's always like, why do you always have to take the 2 good ones that were on top? Because they always stack them 1, 2, and then 2 on top. And I'm always like, you know what? It's because I'm the female. I'm the boss. I get the good ones. It is what it is. What can I say?
Prayers for Brady.
Prayers for Brady.
All
He needs them.
right, we're gonna end there. It was good. That was great.
I
Great.
arrived fashionably late, but I came
Like-
and I conquered.
And people can't see you. You're wearing a quarter zip polo, a quarter zip like sweatshirt,
Running pants.
like hot pink running pants.
And
Is it pink? Right, pink.
yeah.
And hot pink running pants, purple socks, and moccasins.
And slippers. My Ugg
Or
slippers.
slippers,
that
yeah.
my dog chewed a hole in.
Yeah, you arrived. Yeah,
I
Actually,
didn't
you
know we were podcasting today,
You were
people.
quick because I was like, "Where are you?" It was 2:08, and you're supposed to be at 2. And I'm like, she's never late. I'm like, and you're like, "Yeah, just like, what's up?" I'm like, or I go, "What's up?" The sky. I'm like, I get it. Are you coming? Because I thought you were just joking. You're like on your way. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm on my way." And all of a sudden, you're like, "I had it down
No,
for
I'm
tomorrow."
home. What's up?
And I'm like, no, supposed to be here, which is fine. But if you didn't make it today, you have been bumped for like 4 weeks from now.
Okay, that's awful.
I
I'll
have.
come in 4 weeks anyways, but
But I mean, I literally have stuff all week, so I was like, I could not reschedule this. If you're like tomorrow, I'm like, okay, we'll just. I've had 3 cancel in a row.
Are you
We've gone almost
serious?
2 weeks since doing a podcast. I've had 3 cancel in the 2 weeks.
are you serious?
I mean,
COVID?
no, just rescheduling. I had one. I'm trying to think who. one had to reschedule personal reasons. Told me what they were, so they had to reschedule. One person was sick. I don't think it was COVID, but just was sick. And
Wow, bad luck.
I'm trying to think who the other person was.
Good thing I only live a mile away.
But I had 3 people that all canceled. That's why it's like usually we're like, oh, I didn't like record in 2 weeks. I'm like, the hardest part is I hate canceling on people, so I always put in my schedule. Is I get people that will cancel for whatever reason. It's fine. Like some are legitimate. I'm not like it's not like people are just like I don't feel like going. But if I go like a week or 2 weeks without recording, it's just purely because someone canceled on me. So that's why a lot of the times I'll put out 2 episodes a week. Because I always try to have a buffer episode. So if like you didn't show up, but I have one tomorrow, then I at least put one out per. Because my goal is to put one out a week. Yeah. But I found out early on that I'm like, well, if somebody like can't go, then I'm already behind a week. Yeah. So I always double up. This week though, because of the weird cancellation, I have 4 this week. I've never had 4 in a. Wow. The first time you came on,
that's crazy.
When you and Steph came on the first time, I had 2 that day. Because I think you guys came in the morning.
No, we came in the afternoon.
Okay, so
we left work early.
So I had one that morning, had lunch or whatever. That's you guys so think were my second that day. And that's the only time I've ever done 2 in one day. I usually don't. I mean, that was just a fluke thing.
And we like talked your ear off for hours.
A lot less than this though.
Yeah, that's true.
But when you put it all together, like that first part, like that was troublesome. This one having 4 in a week's the most. I've had 3 plenty like multiple times. Yeah. But I've never had 4, and the reason I had 3, I'm leaving Sunday, so it's like I had to jam them in, and then one of the reschedules, wanted to do it this week, and I had to put them on Friday, which is fine. So it's like I have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's a new episode.
Wow.
That's
a busy week.
If nobody drops out on me, and you were good because we got you in here.
Yeah, I came right over with my Lab Rosé.
And did you grab that on the door, like out the door?
Yeah, I have a wine rack with like 19 bottles of alcohol because we don't ever run out of alcohol ever because you never know when you're going to need it. So I looked at the rack and I was like, you know what? This Lab Rosé was right at the top of my wine rack. I got a bunch of booze
here though because I got some wine up there. I got some red, and then I have vodka and I have whiskey. Even though I'm not a big whiskey guy. But
do you like peanut butter whiskey?
Yeah, Screwball.
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah, I've had that. That's the only one I really drink because I tried drinking Jack Daniels or not Jack Daniels.
I'm not a whiskey person. I can't drink that.
I think it was Jack Daniels. Like, ugh. I just haven't got the taste yet. And then I have a bunch of beer in there, and I have White Claws. But White Claws gluten? Probably not.
No.
Yeah.
White Claws are pretty clean on everything.
Yeah. So if we didn't have that, that'd probably been your next choice, or would you take red wine?
Oh, I would take red wine.
Yeah, you like
White
red
Claws.
wine, right? Red wine. Yeah.
I'm a wine person over White Claws. I don't love White Claws. I'm not basic.
I like out of seltzers, White Claw is my favorite.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Or
Truly?
No. The blue light ones aren't bad, but the Corona ones are pretty good.
I haven't had those.
Corona ones aren't bad.
I don't like seltzer enough to like go buy it.
In the summer, I do, and we play like a lot of golf tournaments throughout the year. Yeah. So like when we go in golf tournaments, we'll bring them because it's like you could drink a ton of them, and it's like sometimes beer's too heavy, and you drink those, and it's like
whatever.
It's like alcohol water. Which, like so, it's like flavorful, but you still get a little buzz.
And it's kind of refreshing.
Yeah, so, especially when it's like 70, 80 degrees out there. It's nice. All right, ready to wrap this up?
Yep.
Okay, that's it. Episode 122.
Whoop whoop.
With what's your name?
Anna Hewitt, the OG.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
What do you mean?
No, I mean you were. Weren't you episode 22?
Oh, I may have been.
Now you're
There's a
episode
lot
122?
of Illuminati going on right now. A lot of Illuminati. Where is Steph
this is creepy.
when I need her?
This is creepy. Yeah. I gotta get Steph back on.
I know you.
It's been a while. I tried to get her on at some point, but it was like the scheduling was weird. I wanted to get her.
She'll be at my wedding.
Awesome.
Well, as long as she can come, but she's invited.
No, awesome. Yeah, I miss Steph. I haven't seen her in a while.
I know.
I wanted to get her brothers and her dad on at one about the wedding venue, but I could try to get probably her and her dad because I know they're doing
definitely
a lot of it.
Johnny D.
Yeah, we'll try to get Johnny D. I think he'd be a good time. All right, episode 122. Anna Hewitt, OG, self-proclaimed. Check out her flowers. Are coming out soon. Other than that, I don't know. Look her up on Instagram.
I'll be back for Yvonne's.
Linda Jean Co.
Linda Jean Co.
And Anna Hewitt Co. No?
No, I'm doing Linda Jean Co.
Linda Jean Co. Spell it like it sounds. No, L-Y.
No, it's L-Y.
Don't spell it like it sounds.
J-E-A-N.
We'll put it in the show notes. Alexis, thank you for listening all the way to the very end, which we know you did. And if you fact-checked any of our silly banter...
Don't text it to me because I'm already over it.
Text Anna because I like hearing it because I think it's funny. Ugh. And Filthy, proud of you. Thank you. Friend of the show as always. All right, we're out. Thanks for listening to the Galen Trombley Show. If you want to reach me, you can go on Facebook at Galen Trombley, on Instagram at Galen Trombley, and on YouTube at Galen Trombley. The spelling, GaelanTrombley.